All right, so this is I think session 7, if I did my math right. It's been like a whole month, I guess, since we met. So again, I apologize and I appreciate you guys' patience, kind of working with my schedule for the past month. Work should start kind of toning down a little bit, plus the holidays coming up, so that'll give me more time to actually prep and have these things kind of ready. So tonight we'll have Roland, Corn, and Teague, it looks like. So no Darian or Ruby. If they show up later, we'll kind of fill them in. But a quick recap from last session: you guys finished up down in the crypt with Ohalis and his Vecna clerics, where they basically raised Jimba back from the dead. So you guys got to witness that cool little ritual of the eyeball and the hand, and Jimba's now missing a tongue as part of his sacrifice with that. And Nimba was obviously very ecstatic to have his brother back. Jimba proceeded to tell you guys kind of what happened to him from what he could recall before he basically passed out and died, to where he had some kind of foreign object inside of him that burst out of his belly, looking like a tadpole with teeth or some kind of lamprey or something like that. And Ohalis also offered the rest of you guys this Vecna's blessing if you guys ever run yourselves into trouble and want to go through this ritual as well. To which I think pretty much everybody profusely or quickly denied, said they didn't want any part of that. So at this point, you guys have already received, I think, 600 gold for your retrieval of all the egg sacs. I think the remaining 1,200 are still waiting for you back at the temple. He promised to give you guys the remaining amount. And now it's up to you guys.
Just real quick, does anyone remember if we... Oh yeah, we got it in our party loot, okay. The gold I was talking about.
Yeah, I think you guys put the 600 in there. Just the other 1,200 was, he didn't have that much on him. But he promised to pay you guys once you get back to the
Right, he
village.
promised to pay us back.
Alright, so at this point, Jimbo's still kind of walking around completely buck naked. Still a little bit in shock. He went through the little charades thing with you guys, and Nimba kind of explained the story about what happened to him and everything. And Nimba's just wrapping him up with a cloak and trying to keep him warm and trying to fill him in on what all's been going on since he left the world, so to speak. And Nimba seems to recall something that Roland said earlier about something to help out his ship.
Are we still in the crypt? I thought last time we kind of exited.
No, yeah, I can move you guys out. Just right now, I figured that's where we left off.
Okay, yeah, if we're still in the crypt, I'll tell him. Not now. I'll tell you later.
Okay, no problem. So he kind of helps Jimmy get dressed, and he goes and thanks Ohalis for his services and whatnot, and asks you guys if you're ready to go, or where do you want to go next?
Come, Jimba, let's take your brother home.
Jimmy kind of looks at you a little bit strange, like he's still not sure who you are and stuff, but Jimmy kind of nods and says, it's okay, Jimba, it's okay. We can go home now. At that, he'll lead you guys back out of the crypt. Ohalis bids you guys farewell. He and the clerics kind of stay down the crypt as they escort you up to the top of the stairs. Ohalis instructs you guys that just head back to the tavern to one of the guards that were with us, and they'll have your money waiting for you. So you guys want to head back to the village, or you guys want to head from here?
Whoops, I was hitting the wrong button. I'll ask Alice real quick, just how long we could, before we could expect our payment if we came by.
Oh, he tells you that, if you go by the village, just ask for one of the Vecna guards that escorted him here, and they'll have the money waiting for you. It doesn't need. You say it doesn't need him to be present to get paid.
Oh, okay. So you guys cool with trying to go and collect the rest of that?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Sorry, I should do the tavern, not the village. 1 second. There we go. That's better. All right. So you guys arrive back at the tavern. No issues there whatsoever. One of the Vecna guards actually greets you at the front door, and thanks you guys for your support. And he already has a couple little spiders kind of crawling around his wrist, underneath his robe in there, and kind of stroking one kind of somewhat little bit dementedly. But he nods over to one of his other men about towards the back, and he approaches you with a large sack of obviously your payment. Hands it over to you, and again, thanks you profusely for your help in ridding the crypts of the non-domesticated spiders.
Well, it's the least we could do. Thank you for giving us our payment.
One of the Vecna guards comes back over again and notices you guys. Says, "Ah, I see. It's the folks that like to throw things around the room. Not much accuracy on some of you."
I just chuckle. Well, you know, sometimes when I drink a lot of this ale, my body's quite not used to it, despite my years, so it hits me pretty hard.
Likely excuse. Your friends there didn't seem to have that problem.
They must have a higher tolerance than me.
No doubt. Must be the elf in you.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that. It's kind of unfortunate.
I wouldn't advise doing drinking games with any dwarfs.
I'll do my best to avoid that, I'm sure.
Alright, so everyone kind of goes back about their business. Waitresses come around, ask you guys if you want anything to drink, want anything to eat, anything for your troubles.
Yeah, I'll take a half a chicken if you have it.
Half a chicken? Okay, so she runs back to the back, and you hear somebody back there kind of cursing and swearing a little bit. A chicken? Half a chicken? Alright, it'll be a while, but I'll have it out as soon as I can.
Alright, how much?
Just 2 coppers, sir. 2 coppers.
Slap 2 coppers down. Thank you.
She makes it around the other guys as well. Anything to drink, fellas?
All glass of ale, please.
Glass of the house ale, coming right up. She walks around to the back, gets the half-orc kind of order, goes along the back, pulls out the tap, fills up a nice big pint, slides it down the bar to you. This one's on the house, sir.
Thank you. Teague proceeds to sip his ale and watch the room.
Typically see the same thing you saw before, some kind of downtrodden folk here, different ailments throughout them, some missing the fingers, eye patches, typical stuff. Knowing what you know now, you suspect that some of these guys have been through the same ritual that you just saw Jimba go through. Bartender walks up to one of you guys, I guess Roland up here at the bar. So, how much longer are you going to be in town here? That was to Roland.
You there, Roland?
Oh, I was pushing the wrong button.
Yeah, I was doing that earlier.
Yeah, I changed it to my mouse to make it a little easier, then I completely forgot I did that. So I tell the bartender, we're only going to be here for at least another day or two. We have an assignment that's going to take us out of the city.
Ah, where are you heading to?
Not quite sure, to be honest.
Open spaces.
Well, be careful out there. We all know about the recent centaurs. Who knows? I wouldn't want to be traveling on the road nowadays.
My interest kind of peaks at the mention of more centaurs. I'm like, how much have these centaurs been troubling the people exactly?
Well, they haven't really been troubling us here in Fishing Village, but you've obviously seen the influx of refugees flocking to Helgabal. Some of them pass through here on their way there, but it seems getting worse and worse. More and more folks coming in from the outlands of all these centaur raids that just seem to have no rhyme or reason as to why they're attacking.
I ask him, where's the closest reports of these centaurs? Are they close to Helgaba?
All over, mostly to the north is what I've heard so far, but there have been some east of here and some west as well.
Unusual for centaurs to come this close to a population like this.
Yes, agree. It's all strange times, my friend. Better times to stay inside and drink a nice cool ale.
Prefer the stars above my head than a roof.
To each his own, to each his own. Alright, so your chicken finally comes out, Corn, and she brings it up to you right there at the bar. Do you have it here, sir?
Ah, thank you, my lady. And I tip her a piece of silver as she brings it out.
She takes the silver and kind of looks down at it, looks back at you, and gives you a slight little wink. Says, thanks, sugar.
I just smile and go about eating my chicken.
Alright, so after some of you guys are going to be here another 15, 20 minutes or so, you guys finally, Nimba came back in with you guys as well. He and his brother kind of go up to one of the tables and they've ordered some food, and Jimba eats like he hasn't eaten in a week, kind of gorges himself, so to speak, as best he can. And after they're kind of done, Jimba and Nimba both kind of walk up to you guys in the bar and says, how about now, Roland? Is this a good time? What's going on? Push to talk, Roland? Oh, I just see his chat. He said, be right back. Did you guys see how long ago that was?
Yeah, I think he just put that up.
Good timing. Alright, so kind of you see Jimba and Nimba kind of going back and forth with these little charades and stuff. Like Jimba's trying to tell him his story, and Nimba's interpreting maybe half of what he's being saying over there. And Nimba kind of walks around while he's waiting for Roland to finish eating or drinking his beer, whatever he's doing. Says, well, now that
I asked Nimba,
Go ahead.
how's your brother faring? Is he getting any better? He seemed like he was pretty messed up after the ritual.
Oh, he's messed up for sure. He's still a little weak and still not quite sure what happened, but he's getting his strength back. I think that meal helped him out quite a bit. And it's really good news because I think since he's back that it's time for us to go. We need to head back to Mucklestones. This city's just, there's not much left for us here. If we can just get out in time and not have to worry about these centaur attacks before they get worse, then I think we'll be doing good.
Well, how's your airship doing? I remember you mentioning something about the elements not working right or something to get it to fly.
Oh no, I've pretty much given up on the flying for now, but I can still make it across the roadway, the long road, back to Mucklestones. It'll be a rough ride, but I think it's time to go. And with Jimba back, he's my second-hand man on the ship. He and I, along with a couple friends of ours, can make the journey.
Well, it might be for the best for you to get out of here. Things seem to be taking a turn for the worse rather quickly.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
Well, there's this disease going on, and then we've got word of a centaur kind of encroaching this area. It just doesn't sound very good.
Ah, yes, nothing Nothing worse than having a couple wild beasts run you down, destroying all these cities and villages and stuff. It's just crazy. This is another good reason for us to get out of here. I seem to recall, I overheard you guys saying that you were heading somewhere as well.
Out of town.
Well, you're more than welcome to ride with us if it's on the way to Mucklestones. We have more than enough room for you guys.
That would be appreciated, but I'm not sure we're headed that way, my friend.
Ah, so be it. If you change your mind, you know where to find me.
We most certainly do.
All right, out of characters. Roland.
Yes, we'll have to discuss.
Go ahead.
We'll have to discuss our plans of, or our course of action, and if we do plan on heading that way, we'll definitely take up your offer.
Very well, my friends. I am forever in your debt, so please don't hesitate to ever ask. All right, Roland, you back yet? You guys have any idea what Roland was talking about?
I don't have any idea. Sorry.
I'm afraid I don't either, my friend. Oh.
All right, Roland, do you need to go, or are you staying, or?
I'm here.
Okay, do you need to go, or are you okay?
I'm okay for the moment.
All right, so while you're away, Nimbo was just kind of having a conversation with Corn and Teagat about how he and his brother are probably going to be heading out of town soon, now that he's back alive. And they're going to take the ship across the long road back over to Mucklestones. And he told you guys that he overheard you guys saying something about leaving town, and if you guys need a ride, he and his brother, along with a couple of their shipmates, had plenty of room for you guys if you wanted.
At this point, I'll kind of walk over to him and kind of whisper in his ear, like, I think I solved your flight problem.
At that, his eyes kind of get wide and says, "What? What do you mean? How can you do?"
It's better if I show you than explain it to you.
Alrighty then. Where would you like to show me?
Probably best if we go back to the ship.
Ah, okay. This is got me rather kind of excited. Jemba, wrap up. Clean your face off. Finish your beer. Let's go. We may have some good news for our ship. Anybody else want to stick around for any other reason, or anything else they want to do in the tavern?
That's fine.
All right, so we will head over to the boat. All right, so I think I've got everybody in here. Yeah, you guys are all across the bottom over here. So Nema's back on his boat over here. As he approaches, goes up on the boat, he introduced you guys to a couple other guys that he already had plans of hiring onto the ship. He introduced you guys to a short little dwarf with a big scar on his forehead, big old beard, but goes by the name of Olimar. He's a deck mate and also the cook that he was planning on going this venture with if his hotel business on wheels ever took off. This is Olimar right here. And he also introduced you guys to Kishan. Kishan is a halfling, a little deckhand, also the carpenter of the ship, known to kind of do minor repairs and fixing the stuff along the ship. And lastly, but not leastly, he also introduced you to Remora. Remora is another deckhand, former entertainer within the Mummers and Mead, and she's also a seamstress and quite skilled at repairing and making sails for the ship. Along with his brother Jimba. Jimba is typically the one that helps steer and run the ship from a navigation standpoint when they're out and about traveling. So he makes his introductions and he's okay, Roland. Now, what is it? What can you do?
So basically, I just summoned the 4 air Memphis.
Right there on the deck.
Yep.
Okay, so at that, everybody kind of freaks out. Everybody kind of takes a step back and looks at you strangely, and keeps their distance from these 4 air Memphis that are, I guess, now on deck here. Remora kind of goes back into the back with the kitchen over here with Olimar, and Kishin goes up on top on deck, and Nimba and Jimba are just wide-eyed. What are you doing? These are what are these?
These are the solution to your problem.
He kind of looks at you somewhat knowingly. Go ahead.
I instruct each of the Memphis to go into, I think you mentioned there was 4, oh yeah. So I instruct them to go to, I guess, the air containers, and basically just kind of orient themselves downward so they're facing down.
Yeah, there are these 4 glass tubes along the kind of like the perimeter of the boat over here. And right now, this boat is still somewhat parked in the alleyway, although it's been moved out a little bit as they started their preparations in there. And I'm assuming you instructed all of them to kind of do their little blowing burst mechanism. Is that correct?
Not yet.
Okay.
I want to make sure everything's ready, like there's nothing attached to the boat or anything like that first.
All right, so Nimba looks at you knowingly and says, Jimba, let's pull her out into the open road, perhaps out in the open field just south of the city. Let's take her for a run. And with that, they kind of slowly kind of pull it out the alley, pull it down one of the roads out there, and make their way kind of out the south gate out into the open field over there. At that, when they get outside, 50 yards from the gate, and Nimba kind of looks at you kind of knowingly and says, all right, let's let her rip. What do you got?
So at this point, I command the airmen pits to start blowing downward to propel the ship upward a little bit.
So the ship starts to kind of rumble and shake, almost like a minor, I guess, earthquake or tremor, so to speak. And the whole ship gradually rises up to max of about 8 to 10 feet off the air. And Nimba is just beside himself. He's hooping and hollering and looking at his brother and hugging his brother and going around and high-fiving all the deck mates and stuff. Says, this is great. This is great, but how long will they last?
That's kind of the sad part. They only last for about 24 hours.
Only 24 hours? Good Lord. The wizards can only do the air elementals for like an hour tops. What do you mean only 24 hours? This is great. This is a miracle. And he runs around kind of checking all the sails and all the connections of the underside where the glass tubes are to make sure they're fully secured and whatnot, and comes back up board and says, let's take her for a ride. Jimmy kind of looks at him knowingly and starts turning on the wheel over there, and Nimba gives some directions to the other deck mates, and they head off through some of the hills and whatnot. They notice through the course of like the next 10, 15 minutes that it's still quite rough, and it can't quite maneuver over any kind of like a sharp hill. Gradual hills, it seems to be doing okay. But if you go close to any kind of like a real steep incline or decline, it tends to kind of bottom out parts of the hull and whatnot.
Roland has grabbed hold of one of the railings and will not let go.
Olimar.
Oh, not Roland. Tegan, sorry.
That's okay. I kind of figured you're talking about
what?
Sorry, I have another ranger I used to play called Roland.
All right, that Olimar comes walking out of you. Little weak in the knees, I see there. Better not have any food with that for the next couple of days to get your sailor legs back on you.
I prefer the ground.
Then you have no place on a ship, my friend. where this is a ship, whether it's on the air, whether it's on the wheel in the water, it's gonna be a little rough. It's gonna be a little rough at times.
I understand that, and that's why I prefer the ground.
Murmur and Kishin kind of give you like a same little looks and snicker a little bit as they see you kind of somewhat nervously grabbing the railings on the side over there.
Meanwhile, Storm is prancing all over the place. He's thoroughly enjoying this.
Murmur runs up and kind of gives him a scratch behind the ears and everything, and says, "Looks like somebody here is a little bit better on the ship than others."
Well, I did name him for the weather.
So Nimba and Jimba spend another 10, 15 minutes kind of maneuvering around, testing out how sharp a turn, how fast it can go, and where all it can go. And Nimba's just beside himself. He runs up several times during this thing and just kind of grabs Roland's hand and shakes it profusely and pats him on the back and goes around the town giving high fives. He's just obviously so excited at this point and just can't believe that this is actually working. He's just go ahead.
So I was just gonna tell him, yeah, unfortunately, these will only work while I'm here. If I leave and I'm gone for more than a day, it's not gonna work too well. So, what's the plan?
Well, I'd say that you and I need to be partners, my friend. This is wonderful. I told you about my plans about how much money we can make with this. This is such a smooth ride now. Just like before on the wheels, I couldn't get anybody to go on this. This is freaking awesome.
I chuckle at him a little lightly, and I tell him, well, I'll do what I can, but, I have my set of responsibilities I must adhere to.
Oh, is this your trip? Where you heading? I'll give you a free ride.
Well, not really up to me at this point. It's more up to my commander.
Commander. Oh, you mean what's his name? Commander Navek, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, Navek, you, his Kingsguard, as much room as I've got, you guys are all welcome aboard. And if I can do anything to talk you into, I can pay you for your services. I'll give you. He looks at his brother a little bit. I'll give you 30% of all my profits.
Roland kind of looks at him a little bit and says, no, that's not really necessary. I don't care much for gold. I care more for action.
All right, so what kind of action are you looking for?
Just do good. That's all I ask.
Do good?
The kind on the ground.
The kind on the ground. You lost me there, fellas. Murmura kind of shakes her head.
I basically kind of chuckle at him. I just say, just extend the kindness I've shown you to others.
I can only extend my kindness so far. I gotta make some kind of money, but I'll do you proud, sir. I'll do you proud. So unless you guys instruct him otherwise, he and Jim are gonna spend the rest of the afternoon kind of toiling around all the fields of stuff around south of town to really figure out how fast this thing can go, how high, and what the limitations are at this point. Olimar comes out of the kitchen with big tankards of ale. So this is all on the house, fellas. We're gonna
I'm
be
like,
rich.
oh, I might regret this, but I'll take it.
Tegan downs his quickly.
At that,
I'm kind of sipping on mine.
Olimar looks at Tegan and says, that probably wasn't too smart, my friend. If you're wobbling the knees, that ale's not going to stay down there too long. Better sip it like your friend here. All right, so again, he's going to be spending the next half afternoon just rolling all over the place unless you guys try to stop him or anything. He'll eventually head back to inside and dock his boat, one of the major streets outside of the Mummers and Mead, and just offer you guys again, say thank you, and he'll offer you guys to take you anywhere you want.
Alright. Well, I think we should probably report to the captain to see if that we really have anything to do.
Okay, okay. Report to the captain and and let me know. Like I said, if he needs a ride, you guys need a ride. I am all yours.
Any plans to armor the ship?
He looks at you kind of strangely and says, "Armor? We need armor on our ship?
Reinforce it.
That wasn't in my plans, but sure. I think I can come up with something. What do you think we'll run into? Are you talking about the centaurs?
Centaurs, buildings, mountains, sudden obstructions that might cause the ship to go down.
At that, Jimmy kind of looks at you, kind of crossly, like what? You think I'm going to run into something?
Maybe not you run into something, but something might run into it.
All right, all right. I'll get Kishin right on that. We'll tell you what. We'll add some extra armor around the glass tubes. That'd be the smart thing to do, because if we lose one of those methods, we'll be back down on the ground in no time. So at that, he kind of gives Kishin.
Also, might want to look at seeing if it's possible to make the ship more flame resistant. I imagine one fire arrow is not going to do too well in here.
Nah. Fire's never good on a ship. Never good on a ship. We'll keep a hold of plenty of barrels of water, and we'll look at adding some kind of fire retardant to the outside as well. Yes, I think I can come up with something in my alchemy lab just for that. Yes, I've used that plenty of times in one of the shows for the Burning Man. Yes, the one that jumps through the hoops. I've got just a thing for it. Yes. He retreats back underneath below his deck and back into his alchemy lab, and Kishin goes back down below deck, looking for supplies and stuff to kind of strengthen the hull and build some kind of armor around the glass tubes. Jimba kind of looks at each one of you and kind of motions like, "Okay, guys, what do you want next?"
Heading to the captain, right?
Yeah, let's see if he has any orders for us.
All right. So as you guys recall, I think he was going to be meeting you guys back at the Red Keep? Does that sound right? Or was it back at the barracks? I forget what we said.
I honestly don't remember.
I think it was barracks, but I'm not sure.
All right, we'll go with the barracks. It's been a month since we met, so we'll go with the barracks at this point.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, so I'll just pull up the map for the town here. Just one second. All right, so if we're going back to the barracks was this building right over here. And if you guys are heading back to the barracks, you'll see Novek and two other soldiers there waiting for you as you approach. At this point, I'll say it's late afternoon at this point, and he greets each of you kind of warmly. Yeah, welcome back, my friends. I can't remember what we said last, but we need to leave first thing in the morning. We've got some new news here. He introduced you to two of his guards. This here is... Sorry, I gotta find it, guys. Forget the guy's name. We have Emmett. We have Valar. These two folks are one of my finest scouts, my fighters in the group here. And they have a little bit insight as well. As luck would have it, maybe misfortune, however you want to word it, they were actually ambushed and captured a few days back, but managed to escape from one of the Centaur hordes north of the city up here. Emmett is a human fighter, a little bit more of a frail frame. He's armored with a half-plate longbow and a large maul. Valar is another human fighter, a little bit more of the burly type. Looks more like the muscle of the group. He's armed with chainmail long sword and a shield, and both of them kind of greet you friendly enough. And Nivek informs you guys that these two have agreed to travel with us to build the Baris.
Well, it's certainly good to have men who are capable of escaping centaurs on their own.
Yes, there sounds like there might be a story in that.
So they proceed to kind of tell you the story, Emmett first, and then kind of Valar fills in a few of the gaps and stuff that they've left out. So Emmett basically tells you about being tortured and interrogated by the centaurs, and some kind of odd creature that came out along with them resembled some kind of a large humanoid toad almost. And as part of the investigation, Valar chimes in that he was forced to watch as this large toad creature, whatever it was holding a staff over Emmett's head as he was tied down. And this staff had a large gem mounted to the end of it. And they were both screaming at Emmett and Valar to tell them about the city's defenses and what's the easiest way to get in undetected, or what's the easiest place to breach upon the wall, so to speak. But as they were interrogating, this gem tended to pulse, and they held it closer to the back of Emmett's head. And you can almost see like a pulse going back and forth from the gem into the back of Emmett's head. This part of it, Emmett didn't remember much. He just remembers excruciating pain at this point and just screaming the whole time. Valar basically lied to them to get them to stop torturing Emmett. He told them different lies about how to get in and where the weaknesses are and whatnot, but he said he almost felt like they saw right through his lies. He seems to feel like this invisible tendrils or something going inside of his head as he was looking at this large creature in the eye. And after so long, Emmett finally just passed out, and the large creature and the centaurs kind of just looked at each other, but didn't share any kind of words, didn't say anything back and forth to each other. They tied up both Emmett and Valar and left them tied up to a willow tree, and went off into a nearby opening next to the next field over. Valar also shared that at one point during the interrogation, the large toad thing was asking about their escaped prisoners that we stole apparently from them. They described several men to them, two of which sounded like Roland and Darien, but he said he told them nothing about them. Again, he talks about how he still felt like they were reading his mind, even though he was trying to lie to them. He could feel something probing in his brain again and again. So Emmett was passed out during this portion of it as well. They proceed to tell you how Valar was able to break from his bindings while the centaurs and this toad creature are off in the pasture next to them on a nick in his armor, and was able to revive Emmett, so to speak, to a point where they could escape back through some of the woods and were able to make it back to the town to kind of warn the king and the Vec about what they learned out there. They both feel very lucky to have escaped, but they're ready and willing to do what they can to kind of help rid the realm of this issue. They obviously feel there's an impending attack based on the questions they're asking about them, but they have no proof of that.
Can I make a nature check to see if I recognize this toad creature from any of my travels?
Yeah, it's going to be based completely off their description that they give to you.
Right.
So yeah, that's fine.
Can I also make a roll to see if I recognize the magic he's describing?
The magic of what, the gem?
Like the tendrils kind of into his mind, all that kind of stuff?
I would think you would have to probably experience that to maybe understand that. I'll let you do a history or some kind of check like that, because all you're getting is a description of it from him.
Right.
All right, so
Like Arcana or History?
yeah, I'll let you try either one of those. And while you're rolling, Teague, based upon your roll there on your nature check, what he described to you sounds like, to the best of your knowledge, maybe a large bullywug.
Bullywug?
Correct. And based on his description that he gave you, it
Right,
sounded
right.
like it was some kind of a large bullywug creature. And Roland, based upon your that 15 on your history check, you're not 100% sure. It could have been some kind of telepathy. It could have been, some kind of a mind trick. It could have been nothing at this point. You're not 100% sure.
The creature he describes, friends, could be a bullywug, though I'm not for certain without seeing it in person.
At the mention of a bullywug, Emmett kind of pipes up and says, "Oh, no, that couldn't have been a bully. Bullywugs are much too small. These things were much larger than that." To which Valar says, "I've never even seen a bullywug, so I couldn't tell you if they're big or small or hairy or fat or skinny. I don't know."
I'm just basing it off your descriptions, but it does give us an idea what we might be facing. It could be some relation of a bullywug, maybe. Or perhaps one that just ate too much.
That Nivette kind of gives a little chuckle. So whatever it is, it's good news, and it's helped us to be on the lookout for potentially allies with these centaurs. Perhaps the centaurs are putting these guys to slavery under them. That's other folks they're capturing. We've all heard stories of them capturing and taking off prisoners, like your couple of your friends here, well, Roland here. That's how we came across him as well. They seem to take prisoners of some folks, and I don't know, but it's something. It's good news that more information we're learning. We'll continue to send out scouting reports and scouts and see if we can learn any more about this. But for now, we need to get going. We need to head out to Bildabaris. We need to get these reinforcements. We need to get these supplies, and put this city at safe again.
Perhaps we can help you with that. We may have a way to transport large amounts of materials at one swath.
He kind of perks up a little bit. Says, "Okay, what is it? Let me know what we were talking about."
We have a friend in the city who has a ship to use.
He looks at you kind of quizzically and puzzled. He goes, "A ship? We're not traveling by river. We're taking the long road."
Well, of course we're taking the long road. Certainly you saw the airship flying around the outskirts of the city just earlier today.
At that, again, he kind of looks at you quizzically and says, I saw no airship. What? Show me this airship. What are you talking about?"
That's our friend Nimbus, though he could be persuaded to help us.
At that, he looks at you kind of, "Oh, you mean that old crickety ship he's got on 6 giant wagon wheels? We could outpace that on a horse by threefold. That ship doesn't fly."
Not if it's flying.
Yeah, he kind of looks at you kind of doubtedly. Says, "What kind of foolishness is this? Making a ship fly? I saw what he tried to do. It'll fly for maybe an hour tops, but that will not do us any good."
How about this? I show you a flying ship, you owe me a favor.
Well traded, friend.
He kind of chuckles at you and says, "The day I see flying ships, this is the day I will give you many favors, my friend."
I hand out. It's like handshake.
Firm handshake right back at you.
Very good, and I trust your word is bound. Your word is honorable.
Okay, so we're talking about an actual deal. What do I get if this ship doesn't fly? And what do you want if this ship does fly for more than an hour?
If this ship doesn't fly, I pledge my service to you for as long as you'd like.
He kind of looks at you
And I shall do the same.
says, "I seem to recall, Roland, you've already pledged your service to me until this task is complete."
But I have not.
Right? I can always take on another guard. That's fine, but Roland's offer is already on the table. I mean, that's nothing new. You've already pledged yourself to me.
I pledge my life to you then.
No need for that. No need for that, my friend. Tell you what, let's go see what you've got, and we'll work out a deal.
Alright, so I immediately start walking over to the airship to kind of tell Nimba to bring it over.
Okay, so you guys kind of head south of the town, and Nevek kind of brings his two guys with him, Emmett and Balar as well. They're both kind of chuckling on the way down there. It's a flying ship? What is... Who ever heard of such a thing? Nimba can't get it to fly more than an hour. I'd say drinks are on rolling.
Kind of over here, then I'm like, you guys are going to be pretty surprised.
Alright, so they start getting kind of nervous as they hear all of you guys kind of talking confidently about this as they head down to south of town. You guys exit out the south gate out there. Actually, it was back at his tavern, wasn't it? Okay, so you guys show up at the boat there on the major road right outside the Mummers and Mead. Is it still flying at this point? You didn't dispel your Memphis, did you?
No.
Alright, so as you guys round the corner, you see the look of astonishment on Novek and his two scouts along with him. And he looks back over at you and says, okay, I see it's flying, but like I said before, he's got it flown before, it just won't stay flying. That's no proof as of yet.
Trust me, the infernal thing will stay in the air.
I kind of point out the air elementals that are hanging out. And those ones, they last much longer than mere wizard ones that are summoned for an hour.
At that, kind of Nevik walks up to the boat and kind of gives it a closer inspection, and Nimba peers out one of the portholes and says, "Ah, Nevik, did you see? Can you believe it? And it's not like the wimpy ones from the wizards. This lasts all day." Closes the door back, and he closes the porthole back.
At that, I command the airman bits to start to rise up again.
I'm sorry, you gotta say it again.
The boat's not flying now, right?
Well, if you left the Mephits on, then it's still hovering above the ground. Yeah.
Oh, okay then. Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's why I asked when we came back if you dismissed them or if they were still in there.
Yeah, they're still there.
Okay. All right, so you called that feat they have. Once they start blowing, that's it. That's all they do until you dismiss them, right?
Yeah.
All right, so that Nevek kind of helps himself back up onto the deck, and he recognizes Jimba, somewhat, taken aback as he thought he was dead, just like along with everybody else, and makes his way on deck. And Nimba comes back up. Okay, Nevek, look, this is truly amazing, I finally did it. Well, Roland finally did it, but still, look, we can go out on the open fields, on the roads. Now it's a little rough around the tight, inclines and declines and stuff like that, but he did it. So Novak kind of looks around a little bit. All right, I'll believe it when I see it for more than an hour, but at this point, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. The two scouts are kind of walking around looking at these little air method things. They've never seen them before inside these glass tubes, and going back and forth with each other about what exactly they are and how safe they are. To which Nevek kind of overhears them and turns to Roland and says, okay, now, what kind of magic or monsters are these things? Are they safe? Can they be controlled?
Yep, under my command.
Under your command. Will they listen to anybody or just you?
Just me.
How do you know that?
Giant commander right now.
Okay, what should I tell them? Do they understand me?
They'll understand you, but they won't listen to you.
At that, he kind of walks down to the Mephits over this. Hey, you there. Speak your name. Who are you? What are you doing? To which nothing comes out. The Mephits just kind of stare at him like almost like through him, and don't respond whatsoever to him. All right, so they won't.
I command the methods to start to lower. Can I control the amount of air they're putting out to like try and lower the ship just a little bit?
No, you can't control how hard they're blowing. It's pretty much constant the whole time. If you ask Nimba about that, then he tells you that he can possibly make some adjustments to the tubes to allow for that.
Oh, okay. I don't see anything then.
All right, so Novak is starting to kind of come around. Says, "All right, so these are obviously not your standard air elementals that I've seen the wizards come up with. So maybe you've got something here. But still, is this your idea of how we should get to Bildebaris? Was that your plan?"
This infernal thing should take us to Bildebaris and bring your supplies home.
At that, his ears kind of perk up because he says, "Ah, yes, I was not really looking forward to the slow ride back with the wagons and the supplies and whatnot, but I was hoping to ride ahead of them and leave the caravan to the extra tradesmen pulling those back. But Lord knows with these centaur attacks, I would have had to stay with them. So if this will work, then I'm on board. Nimba, do you mind if I...
Nimba,
Go ahead.
Nimba, can we make for Bildebaris? How long do you think?
Bildebaris? Well, I need just... He looks over at Kishin. Kishin, how much longer you need for the reinforcements? And Kishin kind of responds back that he'll need at least a couple more hours to finish up the reinforcements around the glass tubes. And he's got I forget the cook helping him out with coating down the sides of the ship with this concoction of Nimbas to kind of help with the flame retardant, so to speak. So all in all, they said maybe 2 or 3 hours before they can leave. So Navek goes down deck with Nimba, and Nimba kind of shows him around and everything, because one of the things Navek is still concerned about is will he still be able to bring some of his horses with him? He doesn't want to be confined just to the ship in case they need to do excursions or whatnot. And Nimba kind of walks you guys all around to the back of the boat and shows you that in the lower hull portion of it has actually been converted into like a large, I guess, garage door, for lack of a better term, that drops down almost like a ramp that goes up into it. It's large enough for 3 large horses, possibly 4 or 5 standard horses. To which this, Novak is just ecstatic. This works out well. We can still bring our stallions with us and use them to scout out ahead or scout behind or off to the side if we are in any kind of rough terrain or whatnot. So yes, this will do well. This will do well. So at that, Navek and his men invite you guys to go back to the barracks if you need any more supplies or whatnot before the journey goes out, to take your fill of rations. He even offers to fill up some more rations and stuff with the shipmates for Nimba and his crew, and any other weapons or spare supplies or whatever he may need for the journey. So is there anything else you guys...
I fill up on rations since I gave them all out to the poor people down in Southtown and Beggarshore.
All right, so basically you guys can get enough rations for basically... let's see, what's your crew size now? We got 3, 6, 9. I think 9 people. So you'll have enough rations for a crew of 10 for a maximum of 30 days. And it's not just your standard, meals ready to eat, so to speak. Man, you guys bring in some ham, some pork, some chicken, live chickens for eggs and for the breakfast and whatnot, and all kinds of fruits and vegetables. And Olimar, the cook, is just ecstatic with the level of food he's able to keep in the stores in there. Ah, yes, we'll be eating like kings, I tell you. All right, so you guys can...
I sure hope so.
So you guys can spend the next few hours kind of loading up the boat you guys can head out by late afternoon. Is that your plan?
Yeah, sounds good.
That sounds good. Tigid tries to find some place to get comfortable on this infernal floating thing.
All right, 1 second. Let me grab all your.
Corin just enjoyed the view.
Yeah, it's late afternoon. It was late summer, I think, when you guys first started. It was starting to get a little bit crisp in the air, a little overcast, decent wind. By Nimba and Jimba's calculations, they should be able to travel anywhere from 6 to 9 miles an hour with this kind of a wind, which is pretty comparable to a horse going for 8 hours. But they're pretty confident with the wind they've got going right now that they can make good time. All right, so let me grab your tokens and move them to another map. All right, here's my quick and crude little boat at this point. Oh, I got 2 Navecs. So at this point, Navek, Valar, and Emmett are out on their horses. Valar's out in front. Emmett kind of takes a position at the back. Navek kind of makes his way back and forth along the side of the boat. And like I said before, you guys are roughly 8 to 10 feet above the ground. And you guys are pretty much following the long road.
Yeah, we can't see anything. It's just our characters.
Oh, all right. Sorry, let me turn that off 1 second.
For the dynamic lighting, are you selecting has light and can see?
No, I should have had it.
Because both of those need to be checked off for it to work.
Yeah, I should have just had it turned off. So that was my fault. I copied the settings over from something that I was using before. Do you guys see now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works now.
Yep.
Yeah, there's no reason for me to have that in the dark for you guys. All right, so like I said before, Valar's kind of out in front on his horse. Emmett's kind of taking up the rear, and Navek kind of making his way back and forth on each side of the boat at this point. Jimba's at the helm, kind of steering. Nimba's down below, still working on some of his potions or whatnot. The rest of the crew's kind of doing their normal duties as you guys are traveling along here at this point. Now, as I recall, the trip to Bildabaris is probably about 10 days by horse. So by calculation with this ship, keeping on this kind of a pace, you guys should get there in 7 or 8 days. As you guys head out of the city, you guys pass by a few small villages and stuff. Most of the villages are pretty deserted at this point, as most people have, for reasons of fear, not necessarily because their village has been attacked, but they've kind of made their way back into Helgabal. Pretty much, you guys make your way through without any kind of trouble, other than the fact that everyone just kind of looking in astonishment as this ship floating 10 feet above the air kind of makes its way through the town.
Tigid would wave to him, but he's too busy holding onto the railing.
I kind of just smile and wave.
Remora comes up from below deck, Tegan, and approaches you with a small little cup of some kind of a warm liquid. She says, "Here, drink this. It'll help soothe your stomach. We've been through this before."
Tigid thanks him and sips at it.
It's got a slight little twang to it. Not quite like spicy, but almost like a cinnamon flavor to it. It is kind of soothing. You can feel your nerves somewhat kind of calming down just a little bit. She tells you that Nimba can make some pretty good little tonics that can do wonders for people.
That he can, especially the ones that make you go to other places.
At that, she nods in acknowledgement, says, "Yeah, yes, but those are quite neat little tricks he has there. Many people will pay a pretty penny for those, but he's a good man. He's a good man."
That he is.
All right, so after you guys are traveling for most of the day, you guys can take a long rest if you guys want during the night for the night trip. You guys pass out to the open fields. Can't see a village around for miles. You guys are actually traveling a little bit closer. You can see the mountains coming up on the horizon to the east of you guys, the Giant Spire Mountains. You can feel yourself kind of gradually getting higher in elevation. You can feel the air getting a little bit crisper, a little bit cooler. But again, you guys are pretty much the only guys you can see for miles around.
My nose starts bleeding a bit.
Romoa looks at you and says, "I'm not sure if Nimba has a tonic for that."
It's just us elves, we're not good in the high altitude. Don't worry about it.
She kind of laughs and says, it's understood. We've had plenty of people come out here with a minor nosebleed, so you'll get used to it.
Quick question. While I have the Mephit summoned, do the runes on my arms glow?
Let me roll for that. I haven't determined that. Yes, they glow.
How bright is it? Is it like a dull glow, or is it like flashlight glow stick level?
Oh, no, it's a very dim. I mean, you can easily cover it up if you like pull your sleeves over it.
Okay. I was just curious.
Yeah, sleeves or bracers. You can cover it up with a simple cloth.
Good to know.
All right, so you guys travel into the night. Olimar makes you guys a fine meal of chicken and corn and taters. Wash it all down with some cold ale. Remora brings Tegan another one of those little tonics of Nimbas, and they kind of share stories of where they came from and how they've known each other. And basically, the gist of most of the stories, Nimba's crew has all worked at the Mumbers of Mead at one point, and done various little tasks and whatnot for Nimba, and heard of his stories of how he wanted to convert this thing into a traveling hotel, and offered to help him on that journey. Navek also joins you guys for dinner and proceeds to kind of tell you guys a little more of the history of Helgabal, as some of you guys have probably heard the rumors about how King Yarn Frostmantle was unable to secure an heir, went through several wives that have died of mysterious, some say mysterious deaths. He calls it up to all the hogwash. He's known King Yarn Frostmantle. They've been friends since they were young boys, and you think it's just gossip of people that don't understand. But it is true that Yarn's gone through several wives, and to this point still can't seem to procure an heir at this point. That seems to be his driving force nowadays. This newest wife he has now is very young, so they're very hopeful that soon there will be an heir. And at that, Emmett also chimes in, says, "Well, if you're going to tell all the stories, are you going to tell the one about his sister?" To which Navek kind of gives Emmett a stern look and says, "That's not for us to talk about. We have no proof. We have no say in that matter." And he kind of pipes down.
Kind of interested, but I don't want to pry. It would seem rude to me.
You're just thinking that. You're not saying that loud,
Sister.
right?
No, I'm not saying that out loud.
Tegan is. Sister.
Emmett kind of looks over to Navek and Valar, almost like asking for approval. And Navek kind of looks at him sternly. Says, "All right, Emmett, you and your big mouth. I'll tell the tale because you're liable to butcher it. All right, so King Ironfront, he has a sister. He had a sister, and she was quite vocal with her displeasure over the deaths of his of Yarn's previous wives. Uh, she almost seemed infatuated with it at some point. It just she came close with one of them, his last wife, and when she passed away, she began questioning the coincidental she claimed of all the deaths with that. As, it got to a boiling point to where Yarn was just sick of hearing it and the gossip and the rumors all over the city. His sister wouldn't let down. She confronted him in front of the king's court one day of of murder. She claimed that Yarn killed his last wife because she couldn't give him a son. Preposterous as it may seem, she did it in full presence of the court. Yarn had no choice but to banish her. Others wanted her head for treason, but he chose banishment. So her and her son were banished from Helgabal. I haven't seen her since.
Has anyone seen her since then that you're aware of?
All I know is she traveled east. I I was quite fond of her in her earlier years, but once these accusations came out, I began to distance myself. Uh, I have I obviously have not sent any scouts out to find her. I think it's probably better that way. Her and her brother are obviously estranged at this point, and to find her and bring her back would only add fuel to the fire. So I just pray that she's at a better place now and at peace and can stop with these outlandish accusations.
Well, if you allowed her to travel east, it's likely she's already dead. The pathways east are very rough.
He looks at you and says, "Ah, I have no clue to how she made it. If she went alone, if she took guards with her. There was a small collection of some of the King's Guard and knights that were on her side as well. Most of them were either exiled or left with her. Again, I have no idea how many of them actually traveled with her, or if they were just went back to their farmsteads or homes."
Well, perhaps they went with her and she is safe. But interesting that she is no longer in the kingdom.
As I said, it is good for the good of all. Who knows what would have happened if she had stayed?
Have we been flying for more than an hour?
Yes. Yeah, you guys have been flying most of the afternoon. Like I said, it's starting to get into nighttime to where the moon's up. This is close to where you guys would normally go to bed, 10 o'clock-ish, so to speak.
Alright, I kind of start talking to Navek, so looks like you owe me some favors.
He kind of chuckles at you. Yes, yes, I do. I'm a believer now. I'm a believer. What will you have of me?
Nothing yet.
He kind of looks at you with a glowing look in his eye. Nothing yet. Ah, I see where this is going.
Don't worry, I won't take advantage of it.
Yes, don't break my honor.
You're a good man, Nivek. I take my leave and I go to bed on you. That Tiga gets up and goes and finds a bunk to crawl into.
So out of game, so it says my methods disappear at the end of a long rest. Does that mean I need to dismiss them before I go to sleep? So that way we don't just kind of crash at the end of that long rest, or
I'll say based upon
how does that work?
I'll say based upon your experimentation with them, when you dismiss them, it's not like a poof and they're gone. It's like a gradual, I guess, dissipation of them. They gradually kind of disappear, so the wind would gradually kind of die down, and it should just ease the ship back down to the ground. Does that answer your question?
Okay, so so if I just go to sleep and then say at the end of a long rest they'll start to disappear, I can just quickly resummon them.
No, you haven't done that yet. But yeah, that's your understanding of it.
Okay.
To which Nimba kind of approaches you before he heads down to deck as well, and kind of shares the information with you. Okay, now are we good to sail through the night? Do we need to stop and drop down to the wagon wheels for the night? How's this work?
Be honest, not 100% sure. Might be safer if we put down the wagon wheels for the night.
All right, very well, very well. He kind of runs around Jimba and grabs Kishin before he heads downstairs for the night as well, and kind of gives them orders of to drop down back onto the wheels, settle in place, and find a good mooring spot for the night. At that, Jimba kind of looks relieved. He was not looking forward to traveling all night with that. Emmett pipes up, says he'll take first watch. Valar says he'll take the second watch after that. And then Navek says he'll take the third watch in the morning as well.
So I say to them, well, being an elf, I only need 4 hours of rest, so after those 4 hours I'll be up and can do watch.
Okay, very well. Emmett and Valar kind of give you a knowing look and appreciate that. And Emmett says, oh, good, and I'll get an extra 4 hours. To which Valar says, nah, you'll get an extra 2, and I'll take the other 2.
I just kind of chuckle watching them fight, and I'm like, yes, get your good human rest.
They both kind of give you a little chuckle.
Roland goes to sleep.
Okay, anyone else staying up? Oh, I think that's it. Yeah, Tigado, sorry, you went down.
Yes. Yeah, I found a bunk and actually tied myself to it.
Okay, so they set the boat down for the night. Tigid, you don't have to worry about the motion of the ship anymore, and you're pretty much.
Oh, it's not the motion; it's the flying he doesn't like. It's the lack of contact with the ground.
All right, so you guys all sleep through the night. Nothing comes up in your watch, Corn, or the other guys. As the dawn breaks, the crew starts stirring up, making breakfast and whatnot. You guys can smell the sweet smells of pork sausage and eggs and bacon being cooked on the wood stove in the kitchen side. If you guys don't wake up, Nimba will make his rounds and kind of lightly tap on each of the doors and wake each of you up to kind of join them for breakfast.
I've been waiting like 4 hours for breakfast, so I like to run up.
Tigid was up before dawn.
All right, so Olimar greets each one of you guys with a full plate. Kind of says, "Help yourselves and make your way into the mess hall and help yourselves. Help yourselves." So as you guys,
Thank you, good sir.
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say thanks for the food.
All right, so as you guys are kind of,
And Tigid takes his fill and finds a place to meditate.
if you're looking for a place to meditate, probably up on the upper deck is probably your most peaceful spot. Everything down below is somewhat dank and only lit by candles and whatnot this early in the morning.
He'll go on the upper stern deck.
All right, so as you step out on the upper deck, you can see off maybe a couple miles up the road a slight bit of smoke kind of rising up across the horizon.
Can we tell if it looks like smoke from a normal campfire, or it looks something different?
Before you can even look at that, Valar comes running up from further up. Says, "Guys, there's been a caravan up the road yonder looks like it's been attacked. I didn't get close enough to do a final inspection, but there was several caravans there, and it looks like they've all been burning all night.
Were there any survivors?
And you're just now telling us?
I just not noticed it myself, folks. I just woke up. I took my first watch on the scouting out, but no, I didn't get close enough to see them. I will come back and warn you guys first. Let's approach with a little bit of caution. I have no idea what to expect.
How far away does it look?
From what you judge, it was like a mile or two up the road. Did I push a talk for that?
Yeah, you did. I'm thinking, sorry. Come, Storm, let's take a look. Call Storm to me, and I start walking in that general direction, trying to be as, not stealthy, but not being obvious where I'm about being seen.
Yeah, I told Gemma to hold here and to allow us to scout it out.
Okay, Novak and Emmett both want to join you guys as well. But Novak informs Emmett to stay back on the ship to help guard that in case there's any other trouble. So rolling is up, right?
Yeah.
All right, so Novak and Valar start heading out, both on their horses, but at a slow trot off the side of the road, out into the grass to kind of help soften their approach and whatnot, and taking a wide arc on their way towards the smoke. So everybody's heading towards the smoke.
Yes. Or at least I.
Yep.
Tegan and Storm
Yep.
are.
All right, 1 second. Got to move you guys to another map.
I cast Mage Armor.
I have way too many maps in this program. All right, so as you guys approach, you guys can see the remnants of 2 other caravans. You guys are obviously farther away than this. My map is only so big. You can see the remnants of 2 caravans that have been, or 2 wagons that have since stopped smoldering, and the one in the rear is still smoldering somewhat. Several dead bodies strewn along the road. And I need each of you guys to give me a perception check, please.
As we approach it, I also summon my pack weapon.
Ah, crap, I forgot to turn that stuff off.
All right, Tegan, so you're the first to notice that underneath the second wagon, you see what appears to be a small girl huddled up behind like one of the wagon wheels and the broken shell of the wagon.
How far out am I when I spot that?
At this point, I say you're probably about 50 yards, 150 feet.
Can the girl see me?
You have no idea if she sees you or not.
Right. Okay. I signal for Storm to circle around the other side of the wagon, and I approach the girl quite quietly and try to make soothing gestures as I do so not to surprise her.
Okay, what's everybody else doing?
I'm kind of trying to look out the area.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of walk over to the wagons and start inspecting them.
All right, Tegan. So
You can see if there's any other survivors.
I'm looking for footprints of what did this.
all right, let me address Tegan's first, then I'll answer Roland, then I'll answer Corin.
Well, you don't need to address mine. Crit fail.
All right, Tegan. So as you approach, you notice the little girl underneath the wagon kind of retreat back deep further into the wagon. From what you can tell, she obviously sees you, but she's scared. Looks like edges of her hair has been burnt or damaged in somewhat, but she's again retreating deeper back underneath the wagon.
Does she look human, elven, or can I tell?
You can't tell from this distance. All right, so Roland.
I speak to...
Yeah, let me get Roland first.
Go ahead.
We'll come back to you. All right, Roland.
Go ahead.
Roland, you were inspecting the wagon here. Is that correct?
Yeah. Trying to see if there's any survivors.
You can see what looks like a dead body. Its throat's been pretty much ripped open. A couple piercings in its abdomen as well. Obviously a deceased at this point. Couple strewn, well, not couple. There's strewn chests and bags and all kinds of trade goods and stuff all over the roadway. The whole back half of this wagon's been demolished. Wagon wheels are completely off. It's the whole wagon's kind of sitting at a 30-degree angle.
Can I examine to see if I can figure out the nature of the injuries, like if it was claws or weapon based?
Yeah, you have to do a little investigation check.
Nope.
Looks like rats. All right, so Corin, you were inspecting for what?
I was looking for footprints of what might have done this,
And you rolled your,
or if other people ran off.
and you rolled a 1, right?
But yeah, yeah. So
All you can find are your own tracks, and you think Roland's tracks.
all right.
All right, Tegan.
I'm talking to the girl soothingly, trying to coax her out, telling her it's okay, you're safe, you're with us now, it's okay, we'll protect you.
You see her kind of looking up at you, almost with her eyes watering at this point. She's obviously very frightened at this point. She hears your words, and 1 second. Roll me a persuasion.
Oh, nice.
Very nice. At that, she kind of hears you talking in low, hushed tones, sound somewhat friendly, and she slowly but gingerly kind of works her way out from underneath it, and I just don't know. I was hoping for someone to come by sooner than this. I don't know. I don't know what to do. They're all dead.
It's okay, we'll take care of you. Are you hungry?
She just rushes up and wraps her arms around you and buries her face into your chest, belly area. She appears to be maybe around 12 or 13 years old, young girl. She just starts crying into your chest. She doesn't say anything.
That is soother. Storm comes a little bit closer.
She kind of looks back at the dog and looks somewhat scared, like, I just keep him away. Keep him away.
He's a friend. He won't hurt you. He's a friend. See? I reached down and actually pet Storm, or reached down and motioned for Storm to come a little closer, and I try to pet him or feed him, whichever I got in my hand.
She kind of looks at you and looks down at the dog, and she doesn't reach out to touch him or anything, but she seems somewhat a little bit more relaxed. She also looks around and over towards Corin and Roland and says, What about them?
They're with me. We saw the fire. We came to see if we could help. What happened? Can you tell me what happened?
She starts just bawling at this point, and you can make out a few words and stuff, but all you hear is basically like, they're dead. They're all dead.
Is she dirty?
Yeah, she's filthy. She's covered in soot and ash.
I walk over to her slowly and I say, I'm gonna cast a spell. I'm gonna clean you up. Okay? Don't be afraid.
No.
And then I cast.
No.
Oh, she
Leave me
says
alone.
no.
She kind of
Very well.
she pulls away from Tegan and starts kind of crawling back underneath the wagon.
Come here, it's fine. He just means well. A little rough around the edges is all.
Roll me another perception. I mean persuasion.
But I'll bomb this one. Yep.
Yeah, she retreats further back underneath the wagon. Don't hurt.
And I continue to try to coax her out.
Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
We're not gonna hurt you. We're here to help. We have a wagon nearby.
You're not safe. We're not safe. None of us are safe.
We'll be safe here. Was it the centaurs?
At that, she looks up at you. Centaur, is that the horsemen?
Yes.
At that, she starts bawling and buries her face into her knees, and you can hear her crying underneath the wagon.
Sounds like it was the centaurs, Roland. So we can't get her out.
I softly kind of tilt her. It's okay. I was captured by them too. I know what they do.
At that, she looks up at you, almost connecting with you, so to speak. Just, what do you know about them?
Kidnapped me. Some other people, but we were able to break free and fight them and escape.
You escaped? You were able to defeat them? They're so big. We didn't have a chance.
We're a pretty strong party over here, so we're able to do some damage to them. So you're safe with us. I can guarantee you that.
She looks up at you somewhat apprehensively, like she doesn't quite believe you at this point. And she goes, "What? They're all dead. They I don't know why they. And she starts bawling more again.
Come with us. We'll protect you.
I come over, I'm like, young girl, where did you guys come from? Do you have any more family? Or was this it?
She turns around, looks at you, and somewhat apprehensively again, and says, the only family I had, they dragged them all away. They're all dead."
Did they take them, or did they kill them? If they took them, they'd still be alive.
"No, I saw them. They killed them." And she points kind of back to the south of the trail. "I saw them just drag their dead bodies away. They're dead. They're dead, I tell you."
I'm gonna go look in that general direction and see what I can see. See what Storm and I can find.
I asked her where she was coming from and where she was going.
We were coming. We just left our village. We were heading to Helgabal. We brought our trade goods. We wanted to stay there for the winter, and possibly travel back in the spring. The winter was so rough this past winter. We didn't think we'd survive. We didn't think we'd make it. Oh, Papa, why'd we have to go?
Well, Helgoba is a safe area for you to be in, and we know plenty of people who would be able to take you in and keep you safe.
And she notices Tegan kind of looking off to the south again, and she looks over to him and goes, I can show you where they went. I followed them a little bit yesterday, just to see, and I think I saw their camp, but I got scared and came back."
Just point me in the direction. One of us will take you back to our group. Try not to say ship here and freak her out.
Your group? There's more of you?
Yeah.
She kind of looks around like she's trying to find somebody else and getting all nervous again.
Oh, they're not here. They're back with our horse equipment.
As well, hey,
You could even say we have a mobile fort. You'd be very safe there.
she looks at you somewhat kind of confused, not really understanding what you meant by that. But she looks back to Tegan. She says, "Hey, I can show you where they dragged them. But I won't go too far. I won't go too close. I don't know if they're still there or not. It was yesterday."
Show me then.
All right, so she'll lead you kind of gingerly to the south a little bit, towards an opening. And then it curves back around off to the east. There's another trail that kind of heads back up towards the north again, almost like you're making somewhat of a circle, but it's around a big grove of trees. And she kind of points a little bit kind of to the northeast, just beyond those trees over there. There was a camp of them there last night, but this is as far as I went.
This is far enough then. I'll go the rest of the way and see what I can find. Come, Storm. We have work to do.
All right, how many guys are going? Is it just Tegan, or is it all of you guys?
No, I'll go with Tegan.
I'll if the girl wait, the girl's gonna lead us there, right?
Yeah, she's going to lead you at least to the opening.
Okay, then yeah, I'll go with them.
Do we have Navek and that other guy with us still?
They were circling off to the outside. You haven't seen them as of yet. They weren't going straight down the road.
Hopefully they're just staying out of sight.
All right, so you guys are head. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to check the trail and what kind of tracks and sign I'm seeing.
You're looking for tracks?
Yes.
All right, give me a survival check.
Really? I just turned all this stuff off.
All right, what'd you roll there? A crit?
Yeah, I critted it. I critted it and I failed it on the other one.
All right, so you see obvious hoof tracks, and you also see the drag marks as well.
Very well. Obviously, I can tell they're fresh. I point the tracks out to those in the party and say, okay, we definitely have something here. Let me go ahead a little bit and scout. I'll report back shortly.
Be careful, brother.
All right, 1 second. I'm going to switch to a different map for you guys. Alright, so you guys are basically approaching from, I'll say from this area down here. That's where you're approaching from. And she'll get as close as right here, actually around the cover of the trees, and kind of point out to the opening over here, where she says they were kind of in this area over here last night, but you guys don't see anything at this point.
Being
well, I'm gonna look
sneaky as
around
I
for-
can, I want to scout ahead and see what I can find.
I just want to see if I can hear anything.
Okay, so are you scouting out before he... Corn, I'll let you listen first. Do a perception check.
17.
You don't hear anything but the normal sounds of morning birds and chirps and wind blowing through the trees.
Seems pretty quiet.
That it does.
Alright, Tegan, what were you doing?
I want to scout ahead enough to where I can see through the break of the trees and maybe see what I can see ahead of us slightly.
Okay, give me a perception check. Okay, you don't see any signs of danger. Right here you see the remnants of a fire maybe a day old. Over here you can see a pile of several, what looks like dead bodies at this point. Nothing else out of the ordinary.
Can I still see the rest of the party?
Are you in those trees right there?
Yeah, right there where I got my marker.
And I got to ask how far back Quarren and Roland are at this point.
I'm still with the girl.
Then yeah,
Yeah, I'm just keeping her safe.
you can see the rest of the party at this point.
Okay, I'm gonna circle around this oak area, staying inside the tree line, seeing what I can find.
Point to where you're going.
I'm gonna walk around this clearing staying in the trees so I'm not seen.
Okay, give me.
Are there any? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Let's say give me 3 perception checks. While he's doing that, Roland, ask your question.
Are there any tracks or anything like that in the area?
Yeah, Teague, on your 22, you notice again more of the centaur tracks, pretty much all over this area in here, along with a couple other humanoid type of tracks as well.
Other than the tracks, does the area seem to be clear?
Say again.
Nothing living. Is there nothing living here?
Along that tree line? No, you don't see anything other than the
Yes.
normal squirrels and birds and forest creatures.
Yeah, then I'm moving the clearing and signal for the others to join me.
So Roland,
I'm gonna quietly
go ahead.
try to head over. Well, I try to guide the girl with me. Does she resist or come along?
If she sees Teague walking out into the open, she may timidly go.
I
Does
just
she
whisper
take my
very
hand if
quietly,
I offer it to
It'll
her?
be okay.
Persuasion check. Right, she gingerly takes your hand and kind of slowly walks out into the open with you, Roland.
I don't take it too far. I'm just kind of slowly walking up.
So as you reach this area right here, she looks over to where the dead bodies are, and she just kind of gasps and puts her hand over her mouth. She goes, "Papa, Mama, and Bubby." She starts crying again, turns her head away from the side of it.
I ask her, "Do you want to pay your respects?"
She kind of looks at you like she's confused and doesn't really know what you meant by that, and she's very.
Do you want to say goodbye?
She goes, "Well, will you go with me?"
Yes.
Okay, so she'll again slowly, gingerly, kind of walk up there with you. All right, Roland and Teague, give me another perception check, please. That 13 was yours, right, Roland?
Yeah.
All right, so Roland, you notice one of the bodies seems to be almost barely breathing.
I rush over to the body I see breathing, and I pop a potion and dump it down the person's throat. Healing potion.
All right, so reach down and turn the body over and pour the potion into this young man's mouth. And you see his eyes kind of open up. He opens his eyes up, looks at you, and he has a peculiar smile on his face. You see him slowly kind of stand up on one knee, and his skin starts to change into a bluish, and he instantly converts into something like this. Stands before you, about 10, 12 feet tall, this large, strange-looking, toad-looking creature. You guys also look behind you and notice the girl does the same thing. She converts, transforms into one of these large-looking toad creatures. And that's initiative, folks.
I'm assuming roll for initiative.
Yep. Initiative, folks.
It's a big roll.
Alright, so this damn turn order thing is pissing me off. You guys are in there twice again. Alright, so Jason, you got a 12. This one goes away.
Yes.
Rolling 19. Corn got a 6.
Had that same problem during my session last week. Or 2 weeks ago now.
Alright, so these large monstrosities, again, stand 10 to 12 foot tall. They both come roaring up and rushing in to the group at this point. Long, dark claws, big, giant white fangs, and almost like dead yellow eyes inside of them. They begin roaring some kind of a screech sound out of it. And Quarren, you get first attack.
I do?
Corrin with the 6.
Oh, I got him in there twice. My fault. Roland, why don't you go first?
Okay. I will use my bonus action to cast Hex on the dude with the red dot,
Okay.
and I will go in to attack with my packed weapon.
AC 15. Very good.
Oh, and that's also a 1d6 extra damage, which I didn't add in here. So total of 16.
Alright, so your blade sinks deep into him, and it doesn't seem to do the damage like you expected. Well, it did the damage, but it doesn't seem to do as much damage as it would to a normal person. If that makes sense. You hit him good, but he's not even phased.
Okay. So you're saying like it didn't do as much damage as I thought it would do, or it just seems like it's okay with it? Like it's strong.
This guy is strong.
Okay.
Alright, Tegan, you're up.
Oh. I'm gonna back up and try to get a shot off with my bow.
If you back up, you'll get an opportunity attack.
I understand that.
The 24 hit.
Yeah.
Okay, so he reaches out as you try to back up with one of his long arms with his claws on it, and takes a swipe right across your chest. And you will take 10 points of damage.
Okay. So I don't think that 9's gonna
No,
hit.
AC 15 hit these guys. Alright, so you fling an arrow at this guy, and he seems to kind of almost bounce it off with the back of his hand like it was nothing at that point. and he turns back around and tries to take a swipe at Roland here. 20. I'm assuming that hits.
Yep.
And that is 6 points of damage. And he swings again with his other hand. That's only a 10. So I'm assuming that misses.
Nope.
And with his one,
Yeah, it misses.
with his one swipe of the claw, it almost like buries into your shoulder, and it, like almost like his thumb claw digs deep into your shoulder, and he comes back down with trying to bite you as he still has you in his grip. A 14
Miss.
tries chomping down on you, and you kind of dodge at the last minute and able to avoid that. The one behind you takes a step towards Quarren here and reaches out for the same thing. You see this large, bony, fang-looking fingers reach out and try to scrape across you. A 22.
Yep.
10 points of damage. Second hand comes swinging through. It's only a 10, so that misses. And
Yeah, that's a miss.
tries to chomp down on you as well. For a 19.
That gets me.
For 10 points of damage. Alright, Quarren, you're up.
Alright, I'm pretty hurt. Well, this guy's kind of pissed me off, I guess. I'm gonna use a key to do... Well, I guess I have to hit it first, but I'm trying to do a stunning strike on an attack if it hits.
Alright, AC 15. Okay, that hits.
Oh, okay, good, that one does. So he has to do a Constitution save now, and the DC would be 14.
He passes.
Okay. Go again at him.
That's a hit.
I'm gonna use another key to try and still stun him. So another con save of 14.
And he passed that one too.
Jeez, these guys must have good constitution. Alright.
That your attack, or you got another one?
I had a 5th attack for 6 damage. 15 hits, right?
Oh, yep, that hits. Sorry.
No problem. I'm not gonna do a key. I feel like that's kind of a waste at this point.
Alright, so you land several blows to this guy and seem to be doing some pretty good damage. And you can hear coming through the trees some more of a noise and a cry like, we're coming! And you almost hear like Novek's voice coming through. So I'll grab his icon. I left him back over here. So you hear Novek and some other guard kind of coming through the trees to help you, but they're not quite here yet. Where did you go?
I'm just like yelling, "Save me, Novek! Save me!"
Alright, Roland, you're up.
I'm just gonna attack him. Oh, I forgot. I also get 2 attacks now. Forgot about that. Okay, so this time I'm gonna attack twice.
The first one misses, second one does hit.
Alright, total of 15, 11 from slashing, 4 from hex.
You said total of 15, right? Total of 15, right?
Yeah, 11 slashing, 4 hex.
All right. So your pack blade comes down, finds this mark square in one of his shoulders, and you see it kind of writhe back in a little bit of pain, but it's still standing and almost like it's salivating in front of you. You can see its fangs just within, inches of your face at this point. Tegan, you're up.
I'm going to take the time to actually cast a spell. And it's not the spell I meant to cast. Sorry.
Okay, what are you trying to cast?
I meant to cast
You must have cut out. I didn't hear that.
no, actually I did. I had to move my thing. I kept zooming in on my screen. There it is.
So he's got.
It won't take effect yet. It doesn't take effect until I actually shoot. When I shoot my bow the next time, if I hit next time I hit, that'll take effect.
So he's got to make a dex saving throw against that, though, right?
Yeah, the next time I actually hit somebody with my bow.
Okay. So you let.
Unfortunately, it takes an action to cast.
Okay. You just let me know when I got to roll for that.
Right.
That's a bonus action. Hail of Thorns is
Oh,
a
you're
bonus
right.
action.
It is.
All right. So go ahead.
Well, then I'll shoot while I'm at it.
That'd be probably a smart thing to do.
But I miss.
So that means the Hail of Thorns doesn't activate, right?
Correct.
You have extra attack too now, right? You're level 5.
No, I do not.
Oh, okay.
You don't have an extra attack? How come?
No, I don't. I'm only a 4th level ranger.
You should be 5th level. Everybody's 5th level.
I am 5th level. I'm only a 4th level ranger.
Ah, okay, I'm with you. Sorry, I didn't catch that. All right, at that. So which one were you shooting at?
The red one.
Can you remove your dice for me, please? All right, so you shot and missed at this guy. This guy's still pretty much keeping his concentration on rolling at this point. So he rears back with his claws. Damn, a 24 for 7 points of damage. That was his right. Now comes his left.
I'm sorry, how much? How much damage?
7.
7, okay. I thought I heard 27. I was like, oh!
No, that's no. He rolled a 24 for his attack, and this one is a 17.
Gotcha. Okay.
17 hit.
My armor class is 17.
Okay, then I'll say you win that one. So he misses with his claws or bounces off your armor, comes back down with his fangs, trying to bite you. Oops, wrong with the right dice. And that's a 12. Misses again.
That's a miss.
Next guy over here, same thing with Corin. 17.
Oh my. That's my AC, so.
Okay, so he misses. And a 22 for
Yeah, that gets me.
5 points slashing damage. Tries to come down with a bite, almost like he wants to bite your little melon of a head. Only gets an 11. Misses again. All right, Corin, you're up.
I'm alright. I'm going again at this guy. Not much there though. Just one hit for 9.
All right, so you attempt this flurry of blows at him, and it seems like you get one solid punch in, and then he realizes what you're doing and takes a step back and is able to kind of easily avoid your other blows as you try to reach up to this 10-foot tall creature. It's almost like your reach is not quite long enough to do the damage you're expecting to do. All right, that Namek comes running in on his horse. Looks over the damage here and runs by Storm up to Roland here and pulls out his long sword to take a shot at this large, ugly-looking thing. And he misses, but he gets 2 attacks. Gets a crit. And it's a crappy crit. 8 points of damage. You can hear him screaming, "What sort of foul beast is this? Die, you die!" And at that, Valar comes running in. "For Lathander, Lathander!" Runs up to Quarren here, next to him. Again, mounted on his horse. Tries attacking with, what did Valar have? Valar had a, was he the Maul guy? 1 second, guys.
No, I think he said he was the one with the longsword.
Yep, that's correct. But he gets a 25 for 9 points of damage. His normal attack was more than Navek's critical. And his second attack, it's a 15. That's a hit. 5 more points of damage. All right, Roland, you're up.
I'm going to attack him twice again.
Those are both hits. You got to add, yeah. Hex just once, or is it twice?
Twice. It's each hit.
So is that 23, 30? That's a 37 total? Or you rolled both of them, didn't you? So that's 30 total?
Yeah, so 23 slashing plus 7 from Hex. So unless they're resistant or anything like that, then it's 30 total.
Alright, so you lay in 2 really good blows into him, and you can see he almost takes a step back like he was surprised at the force that came down upon that. He's got some kind of blue / greenish liquid pouring out from his gash in his shoulder at this point, but he looks at you with his dead yellow eyes and almost like he's ready for more. Teagid, you're up.
Well, if ever I can learn to shoot my bow tonight, jeez.
Yep, that's definitely a miss. But, oh, yeah, you're going to get 1 attack. Sorry, I was waiting for you to do a second attack.
Yeah.
All right, I skipped Valar, so he gets another attack at this point. And those are both hits. That's 17 points of damage. Comes raining down this guy. 2 more blows. All right, Quarren. Oh, actually, Navek is up. I gotta put these guys in order. Sorry. Now Navek's attacking again. And that's 1 hit for 10 points of damage. All right, Quarren, now you're up.
Alright. I will do my barrage of punches at this guy. Haha, crit in there.
So 14 and 10. 14 and 10. All right, you managed to land some serious blows at this point. One of your fists kind of almost like lands right into its eye socket, into that dead yellow eye. You can almost hear his eyeball maybe like squishing or exploding at some point You land a solid blow right inside its head. Almost feel your fist going inside its skull at this point.
Ugh. Does it look pretty messed up?
Yeah, he's hurting pretty bad at this point. But now he's
All
coming
right.
back.
Yep.
Okay, the first one up here is going to Roland hit him pretty good, so his attention's on him. Oh crap. A 19 and a 20, a crit. That's 25 points of damage from 2 swipes with his claws.
Ow.
Still conscious, but hurting.
Oh, you still have hit points left?
You got one?
I'm at 1.
Okay, because now he's coming down for the kill for his bite.
Oh.
And that's a 22 for 9 more points of damage.
I am unconscious.
Alright, so you guys all see this creature just hop up and sink both hands of his claws right into Roland's chest. Roland kind of falls back, almost staggering to the point, and then comes back down with a bite right into his neck. And you see this fang kind of sink into him and shakes Roland back and forth kind of real vigorously, and then slings him up against the rock over next to him as Roland's body falls unconscious to the ground. Blood pouring out of his neck. Ha! Next guy sees, Corn did that damage. He's pissed off. He's going to try to duplicate what his brother did. That's a 23 for 10 points of damage.
Yeah, I guess me. I am also at 1 HP now.
And second one, that's a hit as well for
No much longer.
9 more points of damage. I'm assuming you're down.
Down for the count.
He's got one more attack left for Valar here. And that's actually a miss. The first miss I think they've done tonight. Alright, Roland, give me a death save. Ten is a save, right?
Yeah, 10 or higher is
That's what I
success.
thought. Alright, now Valar's up again. He sees his friend Corn go down in a heap right here. Lets out another yell again with some more vigor, trying to take out this guy. And that's 2 hits. 6. That's 21 points of damage. Takes 2 swings, 2 big chunks out of this guy, and he's hurting pretty bad at this point. Almost got part of one arm kind of hanging by a tendon at this point. And Tigid, you are up. That's another miss, my friend.
Yes. Horrible tonight. Can't shoot my bow for shit.
Okay, so at that, the one that just you saw, oh, actually, that's Navek's turn. So Navek sees his friend Roland on the ground, steps in front of Roland, between him and the creature. I'll kind of move you back just for demonstration purposes. Almost in a protective stance over Roland's body, and takes 2 more swings at this creature. With 1 hit for max damage, 14 damage. Corn, give me a death save. Oof. You guys kind of hear Corn almost like shake and gurgle something. A little more blood comes out of his throat at this point, but not looking good at this point. Alright, bad guys are up. This guy's pretty pissed off. Staying in front of Navek. Not worried about this guy with the bow over here because he keeps missing him. Ooh, and he gets a crit. 16. Takes another swing with his claws. That is a miss. And that is a miss with a bite. So he kind of comes back with his other claw and his bite, and you see Navek hold up his shield and kind of bashes his hand out of the way and rears back the opposite direction and smashes it into the creature's face. And you see a couple broken teeth fly out there and manages to miss getting hit by this guy. This other one over here is going to go back after Valar. That's a hit. 8 points of damage. Comes through with his claws, scraping across his shoulder. Follows that up with another bite. Misses. Valar takes some good damage, but he's still standing at this point. All right, Roland, another death save. Valar seems determined.
One pass, one fail.
Go ahead. What was that, Roland?
I said one pass, one fail.
Right. Valar gets 2 hits. Still standing, but he is looking very, very bloody at this point. Tigid, like to try that again?
Tigid runs over beside Corn, bends down and touches him.
Is it a good touch?
I was thinking that same thing.
Hey now. And cast Cure Wounds on him. That's 1d8.
Thank you, my friend.
Who's rolling it? Oh, okay, there it is.
And you get 8 points of 8 HP back.
Ah, I live.
So, care to describe how your little Cure Wounds works? Is it just at a touch, or is there any kind of like sparkly things, fairy dust, or anything like that?
Yeah, he just bends down and touches him, and he gets his health back.
All right, at that you see the creature kind of look over at both of you, and almost seems like he's both astonished and pissed off at the same time. You see him look back towards his other friend over here as well. Not sure what his next move is. Okay, Navek stands tall over Roland, leans back, and lays his hands upon Roland at this point. I've got to look that up. I think it's at this level. It's 2d4 plus 2 for him. No, it's not. Lay on hands is just, I have a pool of 25 points I think I can hand out. He heals you for 10 hit points. And then he takes a swing at this guy. Oh, only gets one swing now. And he misses. Corn, you're up. Oh, literally, you're up.
Yes, I'm up. So I will swing at this thing because it's pissed me off. The cold was ground, and the ground was cold and dirty. I didn't like it there.
So like as you're crawling up, you kind of swing one leg out, trying to trip him almost, and it misses wide, and you raise back up with an uppercut. Is that a crit, or is that with your bonus I see there?
No, that's with my bonuses.
And you make one solid hit on him for 7 damage. I mean, you feel that's a pretty good crushing blow, and you see him kind of stagger back a little bit, but he's he's still standing and almost like grasping for you at the same time.
Alright, well in that case, I'm gonna disengage all the way back here. Goodbye.
Is that like some kind of feat you have to be able to disengage?
Yeah, I have to use another key to do that as a monk.
Okay. Alright, so he's like reaching for you, and he sees you kind of retreat back and looks in rage at that point that you're able to escape his grasp. And at that, he reaches out to scrape at this guy that obviously healed you. Uh, 16, a 15, and a 10.
That hit. 16 to 15 hit.
Okay, 6 plus 5, 11 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Alright, top of the order. Roland.
Alright, I'm going to run up to him and cast Vampiric Touch.
Just 1 second, I'm checking resistances.
And apparently fail.
Oh, that was your to hit roll?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a miss. So you reach up, try to touch him, and you think you touch his arm, but when you look at your hand, you're actually touching a branch next to that tree right there. To which the branch kind of shrivels a little bit, and you see some of the leaves wither, but you feel no different. All right. Valar comes at him again, and he misses both of them. He swings loudly, and without much accuracy, and misses badly on these two. Teaged.
Draws back with his bow and shoots at the blue one there that just swung at him, and I believe that one hits actually.
Look at you. You finally hit something. Good for you, man.
Yeah, well, actually that activates the spell I threw a while ago too.
Oh, you did it on the blue dot one?
Yep.
Okay, so what's that do?
He needs to make a dex save at 13.
Yeah, he rolled
And if he fails it, he takes 9
he rolled a
points.
20.
No, I don't think he failed.
Alright, Novek is now up. He sees Roland step up there again. Again, he kind of takes a defensive stance somewhat next to Roland and swings twice at this creature. There's one hit. And what's this plus? That's 2 hits. Wow. 20 points of total damage. He comes down hard and true with this longsword. Takes 2 large chunks out of the beast's thigh and out of his midsection. Quarren, you're up.
Whoops, sorry. I was not pushing the right button. Alright, so I'm gonna stay in safety back here with my trusty longbow now. I'll just whip this thing out and shoot twice.
Those are both hits.
You definitely shoot better than I do.
I've had hundreds of years of training, don't feel bad.
Go ahead and feel free to describe your killing blow, because you just dropped that one.
Alright, well, I just launched the arrow and it buries into that hole I dug with my fist earlier in its eye socket, and the arrow just kind of sticks back out on the outside of its skull.
You see this large monster kind of take both arrows, just squarely. Kind of see him rock back a little bit, almost like he's in a dazed look, and then falls straight back with a thump and a splatter back behind him. at this guy. He sees his friend over there has just fallen. Looks around both of you guys. All the crowd, he's obviously outnumbered, and begins to disengage and retreat into the trees.
Attack of opportunity?
Not when he disengages, as he took his action to disengage.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, my bad.
But, okay, so correct me on this one, guys. When he disengage, is that disengage from one, or is that disengage from all? Can't say I've experienced that
It's
before.
all.
Right here, it's all.
Okay. That's,
Yeah, I would call it all.
all right, Roland, you're up.
I'm just gonna try and Eldritch Blast him then, at that range.
Is that a save, or is that an attack to hit?
Attack to hit.
Yep, that does it. I gotta move him down. Gotta move him down so I can see how much hit points he's got left. What kind of damage is that? What kind of damage is that?
Force.
Oh, sure. The one thing he's not resistant to.
Yeah.
But he's still standing. So your blast hits him almost like right in his butt if he had one. Leaves a good burn mark and scalding mark, but he's still retreating at this point. Valar? Valar is going to charge after him on his horse. So we got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Oh, no problem. And attacks twice. That's a miss. Wow, and that's a miss. He's on a roll now. Teague, you're up.
Pull back my bow and loose an arrow at him.
Your arrow finds his mark. You see him almost stumble like he almost falls down, but he manages to get back up, and he continues to kind of make his escape out through the forest. Navek, you're up. Oh, what am I doing telling Navek he's up when I'm Navek? Alright, so Navek is going to do the same thing. He's going to charge after this guy, screaming with his sword raised high. As he does that, you see the large toad thing raise his hand up and almost screams out in some kind of a low, gurgly voice, "Mercy! Mercy!" To which Navek kind of holds up his sword and looks around to both of you and doesn't come down with a strike, but he goes over the top of the toad and says, what's the word I'm looking for? Yield! Yield on your knees now! To which this guy, he does get down on both his knees and lays his hands down the ground. You can see the blood kind of pouring out of him at this point, looking up at him with those dead yellow eyes. He seems to be yielding at this point. And we are out of initiative unless you guys want to finish him off. It's your call.
No, I wouldn't.
If he surrendered, no.
Okay, so Valar and Navek are both standing over this this creature with their swords drawn. This creature's barely able to hold himself up at this point. Down on his knees, his hands are on the ground, his head is drooping at this point. Says, "My life does not matter. You will all die surely enough."
I
Well, why
walk
is
over. I start to kind of gather some like energy as if I'm going to cast another Eldritch Blast. So like my hand kind of surrounds itself with like bluish cackling flame. I kind of hold my hand out and says, you know, who are you? Why are you here?
I am here to only kill. Your people and your kind are a waste on this land.
How many more of you are there?
At that, he starts kind of cackling, this deep, kind of almost from inside his chest laugh. How many? Our numbers will not matter. We will overthrow this world and your kind in time enough. Numbers beyond what you can count. That's the number.
Sorry, but most impressed. I look over at Navek and what's the other guy's name? Blocking him.
Valar?
Valar. I look at the other two and say, and I also look at Fred and Teague, and I'm kind of like looking at them, seeing what they're gonna do.
They seem content to kind of just stand there with their blades onto next to his chest and his throat. Says, this thing is evil, Navek says. We should not let him live, but my oath to not attack the defenseless will not allow me to. He has yielded.
I say, well, we can probably gain from information from it if it's able to, or willing to talk to us. And I ask it, what type of creature are you exactly? You're able to shapeshift.
At that, he just kind of looks at you and says, your silly tongue cannot even say the word of what I am, and I shall not tell you either. Yeah, everybody roll a perception check. Alright, Teague, you've noticed since you've been sitting there that a couple of this creature's wounds seem to have closed somehow, and he's bleeding less than he was just a minute ago.
He's buying time. Kill him.
Corin.
I just shoot another Eldritch Blast at him.
Take
Yes.
11 points of slashing damage. He reaches out. Oh, you're not even next to him, so I guess it'll end up being Roland then. Because he rolled a 24. I'm assuming that hit you. So take 11 points of slashing damage as he
that
reaches
hits,
out
but I also had
and slashes you across the face.
for how much damage?
11?
Unconscious again.
So does that mean your Eldritch Blast was before or after you got hit? I don't know how that works now. You said...
I mean, I had it ready, so... But if you reached out to... I mean, I'm not sure how you want to rule this, but I mean, I had it ready and was trying to intimidate with him, but I had the energy there and ready.
Right, basically whoever had the lowest perception check, he was going to attack first. I wouldn't notice that. That's why I say Quorum, but he was out of reach, so you got it next. I'll go ahead and rule you, since you had it ready, you would have seen his arm reaching out for you, and I'll let you do the attack before you went down. That would have missed anyway. So he reaches out, slashes you across the face. Your Eldritch Blast flies out, just grazes by the side of his head and hits the tree behind him. And he starts letting out his blood-curdling laugh. And you guys can roll initiative again, because he just healed himself. This won't last long. Everybody rolled?
Yep.
Alright, Tegan. What do you want to do with this guy?
Attack with my scimitar.
And you miss with your scimitar.
Yeah, I do.
Roland, give me another death save.
I try.
Very nice. Valar says, enough with this. This thing dies. He actually does hit this time. Oh, He doesn't die yet, but he took a chunk out of him. Quarren.
Alright, I like it back here where it's safe, so I shoot my bow again.
I'm going to give him partial cover because everyone's kind of standing in front of him and over him.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's a +2 to his cover, so that first one does not hit, the second one still does. Takes an arrow square in the, just between his shoulder and his neck. It sinks deep, but he's still kind of standing there almost grinning evilly at you guys. Navek says, "Yes, die now, and go to your hell, whichever you came from." And he got one hit for 11 damage. His sword comes down almost in the same spot where Quarren's arrow entered, next to his neck. And you see almost half of his head kind of tilt sideways, large gash where his neck used to be. His head flops over to the side and he drops dead on the ground.
Nice blow, friend.
Tegan walks over to Roland and casts Cure Wounds on him.
Alright, so now you've got these...
Groggily, get up.
Okay, go ahead. Alright, so you've got these two giant-looking, toad-looking creatures that are both lying dead, and one's decapitated, the other one's got all kinds of gaping wounds in it, with their bluish, greenish ooze kind of pouring out of them. And over where they originated, there's still 3 dead bodies over there. But obviously, the little girl is nowhere to be seen because she turned into one of them, and one of the other bodies turned into him as well. So there's 3 human bodies still left over here.
Damn Girl Scouts always turn out to be Loch Ness monsters.
T's gonna check the rest of the bodies.
I don't find anything of any real value on them, and it looks like it's just bodies with their clothes. They didn't appear to take any of their belongings or anything in this area.
Merchants.
Yeah, it looks like just regular trade merchants. So apparently that little girl's story was true. The caravan was attacked. Yeah, if you inspect the little campfire, it's at least a day old at this point, based upon your investigation determination.
I look for any evidence of like who these people were. Maybe they had their name written on like a bracelet or something. Who knows?
They don't seem to have any form of identification or papers on their persons. They all pretty much had the throats ripped out. A couple of them had their entrails been ripped open. Looks like they were very brutally murdered, if not tortured.
Not much we can do for the dead. I suggest we return to the ship and rest.
Yes, I could use for a rest. Pretty bad off right now. And Roland seems to be hurt as well.
Yeah, I just kind of start heading over, limping a little bit.
Heading back towards the road, or where are you going?
Back to the ship.
Yeah, the road and the ship.
Okay, I need everybody to give me one more perception check. Alright, Roland, you hear somewhere from off in the forest in this direction, like a loud crunch or something of being stepped on, a bunch of limbs breaking or leaves or something like that. but then it goes quiet again.
I immediately call out, like, who's over there? Who's over there? Kind of get another Eldritch Blast ready.
You don't hear any kind of response, except for Nivek saying, "What's going on, Roland? What do you see?"
Heard something over there. Could be a survivor. Could be a survivor. Could be another one of these things. Be careful.
He kind of asks you in what direction.
I point to over here.
All right, so Novak comes down off of his horse and kind of gradually makes his way over here. Ho there! Come out now, and we won't harm you. At that, you hear some kind of a grumbling noise in the back. Oh, you no hurt me. Me no mean harm. You see nothing come out. You just hear the voice from deep inside one of the trees in there.
We won't hurt you if you come out.
Yeah, roll a persuasion check.
Oh, I'm really good at this.
Yeah.
Trust me, I swear.
Yeah, that's what the little girl said. You hear more crumbling noises.
Well, the little girl is,
You hear more of those
she's...
wood crushing noises kind of receding further back into the forest.
Let him go, my friends.
I start to head back to the ship.
Okay, back to the ship.
Yes.
Yep.
Alright, let me switch maps again. Okay, so you guys arrive back at the ship. Emmett is there waiting for you guys. He heard some kind of commotion up there, but followed orders per Novak and stayed with the ship at this point, and basically greets you guys. Says, "Okay, what happened up there?"
Tigget fills him in on the story of what occurred.
So you say the little girl just turned into some kind of a creature?
Yeah. That pretty much was the shape of it.
And what were they?
They definitely weren't bullywugs.
They were bullywugs?
No, they weren't.
Ah, did you? Okay. Do you need to bring one of them back for us
But-
to investigate further? And Nivek pipes in.
They stunk. We left them.
Okay. Nivek pipes in. No, those things are purely evil. We don't want anything like that around us. Left them there for the worms. At that, Nimba his ears kind of perk up a little bit and says, "Ah, adventurers. Always out for the fun stuff. We're just stuck here back on the ship."
Someone had to guard it, Nimba. Hate
I
to lose
told
our
him-
ride.
I tell him it's all fun and games until someone gets mauled and falls unconscious.
Oh?
And I point to all my wounds. I'm like, yeah, it was a pretty fierce battle out there, actually. If your friends hadn't been there, or not your friends, but if the Give and Valor hadn't been there, we would have been done for.
Okay. And at the sound of, saying about your wounds and everything, you see Jimba kind of walk down off the steps and pulls out of his backpack healer's kit and kind of gestures to each of you guys about, does anyone need to want his help.
I'll take it if you're offering.
All right, so he reaches into his backpack and pulls out a few little salves and some bandages and whatnot, and proceeds to kind of start binding your wounds a little bit at this point. And you gain 3 points of hit points back.
All right.
Tegan politely refuses.
Okay, Gemma kind of nods back and looks over to Roland, and almost like a gesture of, would he like some help as well?
I just kind of nod and start to kind of undress wherever I've got wounds.
So that was a yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
You get 6 points of six hit points back. After that, Jimba just kind of looks you guys all over and shakes his head a little bit, and then kind of heads back up here to the mast, back at his station.
While no one's paying attention, Tegan casts Cure Light Wounds at 2nd level on himself.
I'll summon the 4 air methods and have them start blowing.
Okay, the ship gradually rises back up to its spot again, and Novek and Valar and Emmett take their usual spots in front, behind, and beside, and you guys start heading out again.
I head below deck and start resting. So I can take a short rest.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a short rest too.
All right, so before you guys can take a short rest, your ship quickly comes up to the spot where the caravan was, and you guys realize those wagons are kind of blocking the way for the ship to get through. So before you guys head down deck, Nimba kind of informs you guys that there's work to do. We need to move these wagons out of the way so the ship can get through.
Tegan goes to work moving the wagons.
Yeah, Corn will go and check.
Get rid of her. All right, so this will probably take you 2 or 3 hours to kind of get all the rubble out of the way and move these parts of the wagons out of the way to make a room for the ship to kind of fit through there. So
I take basically I take the bodies, I kind of lay them out to the side, and then kind of getting a little impatient with everything. I just start blasting all of the remaining wagon parts out of the way with Eldritch Blast.
all right, that kind of helps speed things up there a little bit as well. Need everyone to make another perception check, please. All right, Quarren and Roland, you guys notice something flitting over around these trees over here, but it doesn't appear to be some kind of a little bird or anything that you recognize. Almost like it darts in and out of the trees before you really get a good glimpse of what it is.
Walk over again. Call out. Come out here before I blast you away.
At that, you hear that same grumbled voice again. Me no hurt. We just curious.
Who are you?
You kind of hear him back in the woods again. Me called Lou. Lou. Me no hurt.
I'm Roland.
Me no hurt, Roland. We see you.
Me no hurt you.
We see what you did. We want to. We be friends. Yes.
Yes. I kind of disperse my magical energy.
Okay, so at that you see the little flitting kind of go around these trees here again, back and forth, and retreat back towards where that sound came from. And let me switch maps real quick, just so I can grab these things. Alright, so you hear this grumbling, sticks being crushed underfoot and whatnot. And you see this giant hill giant kind of slowly lumber its way out with his hands up and his club kind of, stuck in between his belt and his loincloth, so to speak. And you see this little flitting fairy kind of run around over his head as he walks up there as well. Says, me no hurt, me friends, new friend. Kind of walks out in front of the tree and kind of stops right there. Me.
Does he seem to be honest?
Need to roll me an insight check. You haven't had very many interactions with giants, but what can you tell? He seems to be honest.
Whoops, ignore that.
And Corn shoots an arrow at him, and the giant comes charging.
I didn't mean it.
I'm joking.
Misfire, misfire.
No, me, Lou good. You ask? No, I can't say. Me good. Me help. You need help moving
Why
wagons?
are you hiding, Lou? Your help would be useful. Why are you hiding?
Bad things. Bad things attack. Me hide.
Who's your friend?
You see the little.
I try to speak in Sylvan to the little one, if it's a fairy, or if I can tell if it's a fairy. Since my patrons from the Fae would have some knowledge of fairies, I'm assuming.
Yeah, what are you trying to say to him?
Or, I just say, like, what's your name, little one, in Sylvan?
So as you start speaking in Sylvan, you see the little thing kind of flutter back and forth, keeping its distance still, but it looks at you, but doesn't say anything. And you see it run over and kind of perch on the giant's shoulder, and it leans over and kind of talks in its the giant's ear. And the giant says, "She no talk. She's scared. She only talk to me. She not know people who usually talk to her."
That's fine, Lou. We were just curious who she was.
Sorry, I gotta look up her name. I'm sorry. Hold on a second. Her name hard for me to say. Me call her just Taff. You call her Taff. She like that.
Taff will work. And you'll help us move the wagons?
Taff no help. I help.
I mean, Lou, yes, you.
Yes, Lou help. He walks over to this one wagon, kind of picks it up with one hand and kind of pushes off to the side over there. See? Me help. Me good.
Okay, thank you, Lou. How can we help you, Lou?
Me no need help. Me good. Me be good. Taff tell me be good.
I think you should listen to your friend then.
Lou listen to Taff. Taff good. Taff good to me. Little fairy kind of.
Well, thank you for your help, Lou.
Little fairy.
What are you guys doing out here?
We live here. Taff helped me. She helped me. She helped me live. She helped me survive. And I keep her safe too.
Lou,
Oh,
have you and Taff seen the horsemen?
He broke up. I didn't catch all that.
Lou, have you and Taff seen the horsemen?
At that, you see Luke kind of retreat back into the trees just a little bit. Horsemen bad. Horsemen real bad. Bad people. Bad people. Lou no like.
Lou, you're okay, Lou. We're just curious if you'd seen them is all.
At that, the little fairy starts flitting around again and sits back on his shoulder and starts talking into his ear. Taff know more about them than Lou. Lou too dumb. Yeah, too dumb.
He seemed very smart to me, Lou.
No, you seem smart. You talk smart.
I'm getting.
Thank you, Lou. Are the horsemen in the area? We're trying to make sure we avoid them. Not find them, that is.
Horsemen leave 2 days ago, but there are others. Others still stay around. Others that are with the horsemen. Me think.
Like the frog people?
Frog?
Yeah, the things you saw us fight or kill in the woods a while ago.
At that, you see the fairy kind of flitting around again and goes back on the shoulder and whispers into the giant's ear again. And Lou says, Taff know horsemen. Taff know the evil things that with the horsemen too. She's smart. She very smart. She say you guys should be safe. Should be safe. Should go.
We plan to go as soon as our ship can get through this area.
Okay, Lou.
Would you like to accompany us?
Lou help. He comes back up again and kind of nudges over next to Quarren and accidentally knocks him over as he grabs the wagon and throws it off to the side of the road. Oh, me sorry.
Hey, careful with you. Big size. Us little folk, we gotta walk around your legs, so just watch out for us.
The fairy still seems to be kind of keeping its distance at this point, kind of keeping the giant between you guys and it.
Is there any more wagons left on the road?
Now I think you guys pretty much blasted the first one, so these last two are done.
Okay. Thank you for your help, Lou.
You
Lou, are you hungry?
Lou always hungry.
Well, perhaps you could have dinner with us.
You have goats? Lou like goats.
I don't think we brought any goat aboard, did we?
No, don't think so.
No.
You have sheep?
No, we have pig.
Pig good. Lou also like to eat kitty cats, but Taff no like me doing that. She say that mean.
Depends on the kitty cat.
I wouldn't eat any black cats.
Black ones taste good, just like the brown ones, just like white ones. They all taste good. They all squishy.
Let me see if I can't get you some pig from our ship.
At that, you see his lips kind of getting wet, and he licks his lips, and a little bit of saliva kind of pours out the side of his mouth a little bit. Oh, me like pig. Pig good. Pig always good.
Is the ship close enough to where we can holler back to the deck?
Yeah, I'd say it's within shouting distance.
Tegan shouts back to ask him to bring one of the hams.
At that, Olimar kind of hears you and comes back on deck, and he's like, "What? We're not stopping now for dinner? What's wrong with you?"
Not for us, Mar, for our friend who cleared the way.
He kind of looks over you guys at the giant over there and says, "What in the hell is going on? You expect me to feed that? He'll eat everything in the kitchen."
Just one ham, Omar. Just one ham, please.
One ham, and that's it.
That's fine. Thank you, Omar.
And so he kind of goes back in the kitchen and comes off the side, and he throws a ham down to one of the guards, Emmett. And it kind of brings it up to the wagon up here and kind of stays back a little bit. Says, "You guys are nuts. I'm not going anywhere near that thing. Here's your pig."
Tegan picks up the ham and walks over toward Lou and hands it to him.
Lou rumbles over to wherever you are and almost knocks you over again and grabs the pig or the ham with like two little dainty fingers. It's almost like a size of a thumbtack to him, and picks it up and kind of sucks on it a little bit in his mouth and then drinks it down. Says, "Oh, that was a little pig."
Yes, I'm sorry, Lou. We're little people and we don't have big food like you have.
Me?
But we did want to thank you for your work.
Me no have big food. Me have all kinds of food. Me eat green stuff. Me eat meat. Me eat sometimes I eat mud pies. Ha ha ha. Me and my brother used to do that. That was fun. Not very tasty, but it was fun.
That's good, Lou. Tegan tries to keep from making a face at that thought.
I hand him some more jerky. I'm like, well, that wasn't enough. Here's a day's worth for me at least of dried jerky.
He reaches out and kind of tries to pick up little pieces of jerky, and it's like little pieces of lint in his hand, and he puts it up to his face and he sniffs, and it all goes up inside his nose. And you see him kind of, and all kinds of snot just goes all over you because it tickled his nose and made him sneeze. Now you're covered in hill giant snot.
I just start, there's like a tear trickling down my cheek, but I don't show it to anybody. I just go back to the cabin and try and get cleaned up as best I can.
You guys see the little fairy.
Thank you, Lou. And thank your friend Taft.
Little fairy comes up on his shoulder again and whispers into his ear. And Luke is, wait, Taft have a question for you. She
Yes.
Say, you know what those things are in the forest?
No, we don't.
Taft says she know. She say they bad.
Oh. Okay, they're...
She want to help too.
Well, thank you, Taft.
You get no response whatsoever from the fairy. Just kind of flits back and forth and sits back on the giant's shoulder and starts whispering into its ear again. Taft say she want to help you, but she not know if she can trust you.
Well, you can trust us, Taft, but I don't know how I can prove that to you.
She asks you, she asks you where you come from, where are you going, what's going on?
We're going to the city of Billabub to get supplies for the town.
Fairy kind of looks at you and sits back down to the shoulder and talks some more into his ear. She say the way is dangerous. There more of these horsemen, more of these bad people. You need to be safe. You what Taft? She whispers back into his ear again. Lou not get all the words. Lou, she say they're square. No, not square. Square. Circle of left circle. You seek out left circle. Tell them of bad people, of horsemen. They know how to. They know of bad people.
The circle of left are here.
They where?
Are they here? The circle of left.
Lou no. Me no so circle left. but Taft know them. She said they help. They know. They smart people.
Yes. That they are, Taft. Thank you.
She says they know more about the leak.
The leak.
Yes, Taft say leak. Taft Taft say it different in your talking. You know say leak. You call them something else.
I understand you.
Me no understand me.
That's okay. That's okay. Does Taft know the quickest way to get to the circle?
He looks over at Taft and she whispers back in his ear and Taft say circle not place, circle people. People the circle is people.
Yes, I understand that. But does she know where the people are?
Circle of left circle all over. They're they 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 watch over a forest. They good people. They they
Yes, they're druids.
they what?
They're druids. They're keepers of the nature, much like I am.
He looks at you kind of if quizzically says if you say so, yes, you smart man, yes, they are. But she say seek them out. They know more about the leak and what they may be up to.
We will do that.
She say keep on watch for those leak. These you fought here were small ones, not small ones. Lesser, no, weak. Uh, I don't know. The different kinds of leaks. These there are red ones.
The others are stronger.
Yes, they're much stronger ones. They're different colors. They're reds. There are blues. There the green ones. Green ones nasty. Green ones mean ones. And worst of all the gray ones. Gray ones very bad. Very bad.
Thank you too. You've been of great help to us.
No problem. Me good. Me Taft go. Me maybe we follow you. We follow more food. More food maybe.
Well, I'll have to talk to our cook about that, but I'm sure I could hunt something up for you.
Okay. Me no go on ship. Me too big. Me might break something.
Yeah, I don't think Nimba would appreciate that. Maybe you should follow behind. Or beside.
That he looks over at the ferry and ferry flits back and forth and sits back on his shoulder and Lou says, Taft say me push me too pushy. Me me I don't know. Me something, but I don't understand. I leave you alone. I too dumb. I can't I can't I can't me too dumb. And he starts walking back towards the trees with his head kind of lowered and the fairy seems to be kind of like shushing him off.
I say to the fairy it's quite alright, and Sylvan again, I try to address her and say, it's alright. It's alright. He's no bother.
And you're saying this in Sylvan?
Yeah.
At that, she goes back down towards the giant, whispers in his ear. Giant turns back around. Taft say she talked to you, who speak like her, but no one else. No one else come. Only men who speak her tongue.
I slowly walk up.
The fairy kind of again keeps his distance
say,
a little bit.
Yes. And Sylvan.
All right. So as you get a little bit closer, she again kind of flits down next to your shoulder and starts whispering in your ear a little bit, and she starts sharing you some more of the information she was trying to tell Lou, and she apologizes to you that but she found him abandoned by his own clan, and they've been kind of inseparable ever since. And she looks after him, and he obviously helps protect her sometimes as well. But she basically tells you that the leek are that's the old or fairy tongue for these type of frog creatures. She overheard you guys say, but that's not the right term. She's forgotten what the human term is for it. But they originate from the plane of chaos, also known as limbo. She tells you that they are pure evil. They haven't been on the material plane for centuries, for thousands of years. She's not exactly sure why they've been coming back here of late. She tells you that she's seen them traveling at times with the centaurs. Not sure why, but she knows that these things are pure evil, and they hate all humans and anybody that associates with humans. She also tells you that within the plane of chaos, there's this. They are all drawn to the what's called the spawning stone, and when they are first born, they are all drawn to the spawning stone, and then that once they embrace or do some kind of ritual, she's not exactly sure, they become like a hive, so to speak, where they all can communicate with each other, and then they go out to basically perform all kinds of acts of evil, and they're just bent on destroying the material plane and any humans involved with that. And she clarifies what Lou was trying to tell you before, that there are different factions within these creatures, and that what you guys fought today were the lesser of the factions, the blue leaks. There's more powerful red, which are also warriors like these, and the green ones are the magic users, and the gray ones tend to be the leaders, although there's very few of those. And she tells you that it's been, again, centuries since they've come upon the plane, but the druids of the Circle of Leth have histories written of these within their halls, within their libraries, and they will know more than what she knows as far as more of the recent history of these creatures and what may be bringing them back.
I ask her, do you know of any weaknesses if we encounter more of them in Sylvan?
She kind of starts tapping her head a little bit, and almost like she's thinking, trying to think if she can remember any kind of a anything that's they're susceptible to or vulnerable to, and she tells you she can't come up with anything. Says if anything, they're resistant to a lot of magic and different types of attacks upon them. Excuse me.
Okay. I thank her and I say, you're welcome to come with us if you feel safer, with us. But if you feel safer in the woods, then we will let you be.
And she basically tells you that the forest is her home, and because of Lou, they tend to avoid people or towns or whatnot, and that Lou would be pretty much helpless without her at times. So they'll stay together. She said they may see each other. You guys may see each other again sometime, but she'll have to take Lou and retreat back into the forest.
Okay. Well, thank you for the information, and if you ever see Seahall, tell her thank you.
And her ears kind of perk up at the mention of Seahall, almost like she recognizes that name, and she gives you like a knowing nod and says, perhaps someday. Perhaps someday.
Thank you. And then I start to kind of head back over to Tegan and Corin.
Okay. Lou's just kind of standing there drooling, scratching his head. Good talk, Taff. Good talk. And she kind of just waves her hands at him and like an emotion to tell him to get going. Puts his head down between his shoulders, dragging his club behind him, kind of starts rumbling his way back into the forest with her back behind him.
So basically, I tell Tegan and Corin everything that I just heard.
Okay, out of character, just real quick. Tiga, I can't remember when you and I first did our, I guess, little preemptive talking about where your origination is from. Did you have something to do with the Circle of Leth? I can't remember if we ever went down that path or not.
He would have been. He's knowledgeable of who they are, but he's not really accepted by them.
Okay, so that's pretty close to what I was recalling before. So I want to make sure that was kind of a tie
Yeah.
with your character there, and I didn't totally blow that.
Yeah, most likely his mother was probably in the circle.
Okay, very good. All right, so we've reached the 3-hour mark. This is probably going to be a good point to stop at this point. Next part's either going to be a really long role-playing or potential encounter at this point, not to give any spoilers. So if you guys are okay, let's call it at this point, and let's plan again for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Now, in 2 weeks, is that vacation? Is that Thanksgiving weekend?
Hold on, I'll look.
Yeah. It'll be 27.
Okay, is that going to be a conflict for anybody?
No, I have my own game that weekend, so.
All right, so you guys are okay with?
On Friday night, it should be good.
Okay, so 2 weeks on the. Go ahead.
For me, maybe. I can't. I'm not 100% sure, so I'm a maybe.
Okay, that's fine. So if for some reason you can't, just let me know as soon as you can. If we don't get at least 3 or 4 players, at least 3, then I probably will go ahead and call it. Like I said before, I will start fielding potential replacements for Darian. I'm not sure what happened with Ruby, but I'll start fielding replacements, and we'll throw a couple of them in here if we need to.
Sounds good.
All right.
Sounds good.
I'll let you know on
sounds good.
Roll20 if I can't make it for any reason on the 27th, but I'm pretty sure I can.
Okay, no problem.
I'll let you know like on Monday.
All right, that'll work.
All right.
All right, so as usual, give me some feedback either here or on the Roll20 site, what you like, what you didn't like. This was a lot more RP session than the past ones, but I think we're getting into a little more of the story here.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Does it feel like the story is starting to come together to you guys, or does it still seem kind of segmented?
I'm starting to get a feel for the story, but then again, I haven't been here from the beginning, so.
Yeah, you guys have basically only had one encounter with the centaurs, but that will probably change here shortly.
Yeah, I mean it seems like it's building up pretty much right now. Now we're getting into the thick of it this last session, really.
All right, good. As long as you guys are enjoying it, again, I always look for honest feedback and stuff, so I appreciate it, and thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
All right, man. Have a good night.
All right. See you in a couple weeks.
Night. See you guys in a couple
Good
weeks.
weekend, guys. Good night.
User disconnected from your channel. Disconnected from